but yeah, it's been a while. I've been wanting to get back to doing stuff like this because it's been a I think you were the first person I ever had on. Yeah, on a video that wasn't me.
I think so. Yeah, the Grey Worm one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was. Or you might be maybe the second. I can't remember. But anyways, it's always fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Yeah. So it's we got stuff that we bought. how not special is this?
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I mean, like I said, yeah, no thought process or order or intention of going in any kind of direction. Just random stuff that I like, that I picked up, filling holes in collection. Finding some older gems that I had been wanting, stuff like that.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, mine's all over the place too. So.
Yeah. So you said you have probably what, 30 or 40?
Yeah, I would say something like that.
And I might have double that. So maybe we'll just show like let's see. Maybe you can show like 2 things and I'll show like 5.
Okay.
like I said, I'll like match your speed though. I'm not gonna like sit here and talk about if I tried to talk about all this would be a 3-hour video and it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be. So hey Peter. We got Peter from the old England. I don't know why I called it old. I guess it's an old country.
Oh yeah, it's older than us.
So yeah, we're not an old country. Andre from Russia, my favorite dude in the world, probably. So yeah, I got vinyl and I got CD. That's pretty much it. Lots of different genres though, which is cool. So at least for people that like different stuff, this could be interesting. I don't know about you.
Let's see. Mostly CDs. I got a tape.
A singular tape.
A tape. Yep. Yeah, pretty much all over the place, but in the metal vein, basically.
Yeah. I have more vinyl here than I bought in a long time, but it was all just because old used stuff. But as I picked this up, I'm like, I was really excited, but I'm also like, I'm just really not into collecting vinyl, even less now than I have ever been. It's just it takes up too much space.
Yeah.
I was thinking like if I ever were to slim down my collection, vinyl would be the first to go. And I'd probably sell almost everything but like my 7 inches and like Grave Worm stuff and like collectible stuff, a Nunslaughter, but everything else I think would go.
Do you have quite a bit?
Not really. I've never counted them. I probably have a couple hundred.
That's about where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a shelf.
Yeah.
Or a section of a shelf. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I would guess probably 200 to 300 at the most. 300 sounds high, but yeah. And like I play it so rare, like it's so rare that I play it.
Yeah,
I'm stupid like that. I know some people that all they play is vinyl, and I think that's, but I just have never been that way.
No, and part of it is my setup is super weird. It's upstairs in the living room. My wife works at home, so she's like one room away during the day, so I can't really play anything loud. And then when I get home after I get out of work, everybody's asleep.
Yeah. So you definitely can't. So your headphones listening probably.
Yeah.
I almost always 95% of my listening is headphones all the time almost. Peter, what did you get? Peter just bought some vinyl, and I'm curious.
Oh, okay.
Andre, I didn't know you collected vinyl. That's cool. But yeah, Scott, you want to go first? You show like
Oh, sure.
What do you think? Two or three, or what's a good flow for you?
Well, I guess this one will be a little long, so I'll just do one to start.
Okay.
So Fetid Zombie. This is the one tape.
Sweet.
New I can't see. There we go.
I actually like that new zombie stuff when he started to get a lineup. You know what I mean? When he started to add band members. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the early stuff, I like it, but yeah, it's more kind of almost grindcore.
And
really
super primitive. Yeah.
Primitive song. Yeah. This is kind of, I guess, not so much a lineup as him and a ton of guest stars. I don't know if anyone can see there.
Yeah, that's the last stuff of his I heard. I thought it was like really cool.
Yeah. So we've got people you know. Dawn Desiree does some female vocals. James Malone from Arsis does some lead guitar. Terrence Hobbs does some lead guitar.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is, I gotta say, I while I enjoy this, I didn't like it as much as like his last couple full lengths. Those are kind of went more like in an atmospheric direction that this one doesn't.
Oh, okay.
But it's 6 songs. I think it's almost a half hour, so it's a pretty long EP.
Yeah.
And whenever he puts out a tape, they're usually gone almost instantly. So I bought it.
He's got a good little fan base, you know.
Yeah. And as always, it came in this freaking giant envelope.
What the hell? For one tape?
Well, I ordered the shirt too. It was the shirt.
Okay. That's awesome.
And I mean, it was like, the shirt was like $13. It's super nice quality, nice thick material. So I'm very happy with that. But
yeah, I like how Mark, like, he doesn't jack his prices are reasonable. He understands that, like, I don't know, he's not an asshole.
Yeah, and I feel like anytime I've ordered from him, I almost feel like I ripped him off because I feel like he sent way more than I paid for, and he probably lost money on it.
He's known for that.
As an example, it's
that's
nice,
awesome.
Nice poster, multiple copies of it, so I can send them in or send them off to somebody else. Just
hell yeah.
This really nice, heavy cardstock. Back up there. There you go.
That's cool.
And then let's see. There's a pin in there.
He's like a really good guy too. You ever see him in interviews and stuff? He's just like he's just like a fan of music, you know. Like he doesn't have like a I'm God, you know. Like he doesn't act like that.
Sticker. I just it never ends. These art cards.
Very cool. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, great. And he sent another tape that I didn't order of an album I already had. So I'm sending that to Anthony at Metal Miners. He
probably recognized your name too. He's probably like, all right, this guy supports me. You know,
yeah, maybe that could be. Yeah,
I know a lot of people will do that. They'll remember shit like that. They appreciate it.
So yeah, if anyone's into Fetid Zombie or Mark Riddick in general, I would say I don't even know if it's still available, but it just came out, so snap it up.
It may not be, but whatever, you can try.
Yep.
Yeah, the last thing I heard from him was like, honestly, it's a while ago. It was probably 5, 6, 7 years ago, but I thought it was really, really good. It had like the guitarist from Horrendous did some solos on it, so there was like some technical stuff. Like, it was really cool.
Yeah. I'm horrible with names now.
Me too. I don't know if I remember.
Was that Epidecia or something like that? Was that the album?
No, I'm talking about Fetid Zombie.
Right. I was talking about that album, their album.
I'm gonna pull it up right now because I'm curious. I know it was a full length and it was one of like the earlier ones, but it was like after he started getting like oh yeah, you might be right. 2016. It might have been before that even.
Okay.
Let's see. Grotesque Creation. Jeez, I don't even know now.
There's so many, yeah.
I didn't know he had this much stuff. Let's see. Oh, it might be because I remember it having longer songs.
Yep.
Yeah, this might be it. Let's see. Toby Knapp on there. I don't remember what the Horrendous guy's name is. It might be. It might actually be, yeah, because I remember it having long songs where at first, I was like, oh, I don't know about this, 8-10 minute songs, but it totally works.
Yep. I thought that one was a real step up.
Yeah, I think that was the one. Yeah, where I was like, because the stuff I heard before that was, I mean, Mark's a good musician, but he's not like a technical musician. His skills are limited, like a lot of death metal players are. But so he added these guys to like enhance his compositions and stuff. Like you could tell he probably put a lot of work into it. Like,
yeah.
What's up? We got Psychic Vacuum here. To do my first collection update kind of video ever. Yeah, that's cool, dude. I know, like, you haven't done a video like that, which is funny because that's like what we do when we're just being lazy,
Right.
Sweet. And Peter Edelston got Exhumed to the Dead. That's a good album.
Cool.
Just watch Pitch Black. I've been meaning to rewatch that movie, actually.
Jeez, I saw it in the theater, and that was the last time.
It's good. Like, I'm not a Vin Diesel fan at all, but like that's the best thing he's ever done, probably.
Well, I don't know, man. Fast and Furious, come on.
Oh yeah, all 10 Fast and Furious movies.
I love them, and I'm not going to pretend I don't.
I actually might watch that newest one because I heard it's pretty cool.
Jason Momoa is awesome in it. He's just completely chewing the scenery and just having fun.
Yeah, I like Jason Momoa. He's like, he just seems like he's entertaining to watch, you know.
Yeah.
Got Rick in the house.
Rick, what's up?
Rick. So I guess I kind of have my stuff sorted out by genre, so that's kind of cool. I guess I'll start with some death metal stuff. I have an odd amount of like death metal stuff that I didn't necessarily listen to for a long time, so it's kind of cool. Like I have from your favorite record label, $20 Spin.
Let's go.
But that's an older album. I think it's like 2016 or something. Auroch from Canada. I didn't love this album when it came out, but I've re-listened to it and I appreciate it a lot more. Canadian kind of technical death metal, like really dark and kind of brooding, kind of like atmospheric type death metal. It's pretty good for what it is. I know a lot of people really like that band, but it took me a while to get into. And let's see, I'll show a couple CDs here. I've been listening to like some brutal death metal stuff, which I've always kind of gone back and forth with. So I've got like, but I'll go years without buying stuff like this. You probably have never been into it, but I don't know, maybe you had your cup of coffee with it.
Every once in a while, yeah.
But when I want to hear it, like it like totally hits the spot. I'm like, yes. So Cranium from I think they're from Sweden or Norway. Split between that band. I've always kind of liked them. They're like a Suffocation clone. Imagine that. And, but they're good. They're good. I'm not bashing on them at all. And then a band called Existential Dissipation, which I haven't listened to their side yet, but you know, I always like some of the brutal death metal cover art when it's not just like a chick getting chopped in half.
Right.
But it's more like kind of Lovecraftian looking stuff. But yeah, it's a good split. And then just some random stuff that I just bought just because I was in a brutal death metal mood. Gutted Alive. I think this is, as I was talking about, you know, brutal death metal stuff with a chick getting cut in half. Mm-hmm. I probably shouldn't even show that for that long. Human Taxidermy. Yeah, that's probably a woman. Why would I even question? It's almost never a dude. Yeah, I think it's an American band. Yeah, brutal death metal. And then this one, bought this because they're from Seattle. I don't know. Again, a really cool cover. Haven't actually listened to this one yet. Cryptoxic Mortality, but look at that cover art. If you can even see it, it's pretty.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It's pretty sick. So Comatose, you know what you're getting when you buy something from Comatose. Yeah, looking forward to it. I've just been in that mood. I've either been in the mood for brutal death metal. I've been in a long prog mood, and oddly enough, I've been listening to a ton of Slayer lately.
Really?
Yeah, like nonstop Slayer. Which, I mean, they used to be one of my favorite bands. It's been a long time since I've listened to like a lot of Slayer, and I found that like taking a long break, I've like really appreciated them even more now. Like Divine Intervention and that and South of Heaven.
Okay.
Two albums that I always liked, but like, I like these more than I ever did now.
Were you all fired up from the new Kerry King song? Is that why?
No, it's not very good. Yeah, have you heard it?
Yeah.
It's
I
like
heard that. That's how excited I am.
Slayer. Yeah. It's like the last couple Slayer albums, which if you like those, I guess I don't know. I probably won't even buy it when it comes out. Plus, I hate Kerry King. He's like such a douchebag.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. I wish him luck and all that, but I'm probably not going to buy that album.
Like you said, he's a douche.
Total.
You know, they were sponsored by Jägermeister for so long, and I feel like he's the human embodiment of Jägermeister. Like that's how I feel about him.
He is, seriously.
And he's the guy left out of Slayer. Like what?
And all the other guys seemed cool. He was like the only one that didn't seem cool. Tom seems awesome. Dave seems awesome. Jeff was, everyone liked Jeff. Yeah. And him like talking shit about every other Slayer member. Like, dude, come on. Obviously you're the problem. Like
no, everyone's an asshole but him.
Yeah, literally. Everyone else but him. Like, come on, dude. Did you see that thing that Dave Lombardo did with the cover art? Carrie's new cover art?
No.
Because Carrie, in recent interviews, he's talked a lot of shit on Dave, like, oh, that guy's dead to me.
He's dead to me.
So Dave replicated Carrie's new cover art, and under it, he said, "You're dead to me too." It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yep, I doubt I'll even check it out when it comes out.
I might listen to it. I might stream it one time.
Yeah, with Slayer's one of those bands that, like, obviously they're classics, but I feel like I've heard them so much that I don't ever feel the need to pull them off the shelf again, which is probably a mistake. But
well, like you said earlier, though, you can't force shit,
Yeah.
You're not in the mood for it. Putting it on is not going to make you in the mood for it,
Right.
So.
I still have my copy of Repentless that's still wrapped. I've never listened to
it. It's not, I don't think it's terrible. It's not at all great, but I don't know. I think it's a listenable, it's got great guitar work because like Gary Holt's a great guitarist. But it's run of the mill by the numbers Slayer. But, like Tom had not been feeling it for a while. So, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I can't say that if you open that album, it's not going to probably change your opinion on what it's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, I heard whatever the singles were, so I feel like I have the idea.
You do.
It's one of those that was like, I think it was a Nuclear Blast sale, and it was like $5. I was like, well, it's Slayer, I might as well get it, and then it just sat there.
I bought it because it was used, so the same thing, same exact thing.
Yep.
So yeah, Peter, Severe Torture. Yeah, I dig Severe Torture, actually, one of the better brutal bands. Feasting on Blood is on the way. That's a great album. Yeah, if you're gonna go with brutal death metal, that's one of the best bands to do it. Oh, and Peter, yeah, mostly, yeah, 90s Slayer is kind of what I've been listening to. But I'm gonna work my way back. I might go through their whole discography, and force myself to listen to the newer ones just because it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I think World Painted Blood, I think I might have listened to twice, and then I've never listened to it again. So
I listened to it once. So I actually kind of want to revisit that because I've heard people say like, oh, that's actually pretty decent. I don't know if it's going to do anything for me.
Oh, am I up? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I was just kind of reading comments here.
Oh, okay. Me too. Trying with my my lame setup here. Oh, Simon! What's up, man?
Simon. It would not be a good stream without Simon.
I don't think it would officially count as a stream if Simon was
I would just stop and delete it. Remove it from the internet. Simon's not in the mood for Nasty Boy or Kerry King. Wow.
He's trying to restart our feud.
Oh, okay. I get it. That's fair then. I won't get involved. Ditto on that. I mean, ditto head. Nice. Nice, Rick. Good song. Kind of a dumb title. That's okay.
Well, I can show something if you want to just deal with the comments for a minute.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm not good at multitasking.
You won't care about this anyway, so.
Oh, we'll see.
Kiska Somerville?
Oh, Kiski? Who's Somerville? I know Kiski.
She's the blonde lady, Amanda Somerville. She was in a band that only did one album called Aina, Aina, that did like a power metal rock opera that I apparently really sucks. I've never heard it.
I do like power metal stuff. Actually, I've kind of been in a power metal mood lately too. To add on to,
I have been a little bit, yeah, which is weird for me. But she's more like a vocal coach, I guess, now, and does a lot of guest appearances on things. She worked on the Avantasia albums a lot, and I think that's where she met Michael Kiska. And they got together to do. They did this. This is the first one. They did another one after that. I've kind of had my eye on it for a while, but could never find it for a good price. So I finally did.
So what label is that? One of the European labels, I assume.
Frontiers.
Frontier. Okay.
So you kind of know what you're getting with Frontiers.
You know it's going to be a super group.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they're the name of the band and the face of the band, but basically Matt Sinner and Magnus Carlsen from Primal Fear wrote all the music and perform it basically.
I mean that's a good start.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. There's like some AOR type stuff. There's some ballads. Then there's some like kind of deep purpley heavy metal songs.
Cool.
So not really what I would say is a cohesive album, more like a collection of songs. But I enjoy it. I like two great vocalists that I like doing duets together. I thought it was pretty fun. So yeah.
Actually, ever since you sent me that Avantasia album, I've been kind of in a consistent power metal mood, but kind of sparse, but still like that's re-sparked my interest. Like I want to get. I noticed there's some like reissues of Avantasia albums. I think did they have a new album recently or?
Last year, the year before, I think.
Okay, so maybe that, and I noticed they've been reissuing some of the earlier stuff too.
Oh, okay.
So I might pick some of that up because I'll see it and I'll be like, oh, that's a new album, and then I look it up and it's like a from the middle of their career or whatever. But
yeah. The first two, the Metal Opera Part 1 and 2, are quite different from what it became. It is more traditional power metal on there, and then he got more into like his kind of Jim Steinman Meatloaf type, which I like too, but a lot of people don't. I get it.
Yeah, well, I like it because it's more like bombastic and I don't know, epic, but in a different kind of way.
Yeah.
Simon said he wouldn't even blind buy that. I mean, that's fair. I can't really criticize you on that.
No, I mean this definitely is not trying to fool you. You can look at it and if you look at this, if you're going to hate it right away. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Has anyone picked up the new Dismember reissues? No, I have most of Dismember stuff. There are some I didn't know they were reissuing their stuff there. Actually, there's a few things I wouldn't mind getting from Dismember.
I did just pick up quite a chunk. It's shameful to admit, but I don't have a lot of real copies of Dismember.
Yeah.
I got some CDRs and some promos, and so I just found a sale that they had pretty much all of them, so I grabbed a bunch of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting like. I actually never had Massive Killing Capacity, and I do kind of like that album.
I had it, and I got rid of it because I thought it was too commercial at the time.
I didn't like it when I first heard it either. That was a big grower for me.
Yeah. I think I've heard it. I've listened to it since, and I definitely like it more now. I don't know.
Yeah.
When you're younger and you get into that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they sold out, pussies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I didn't like it for the longest time. I like it now though, so I wouldn't mind. That's why I don't have it, and I have their other earlier stuff. I love their first 3 albums. I love Dismember. So I got some more random death metal stuff. Very, very random. First of all, this is a good one to get. I missed this one last year, which is a shame. The new Crucimentum album, one of the better death metal albums around, of the last 10, 15, whatever years. Profound Lore, Obsidian Refractions. It's just awesome. If you like, the dark, kind of incantation-ish death metal, which, there's way too many bands like that, but they're like one of the top tier bands to do it.
Yeah, Anthony at Metal Miners just showed that, and reminded me of it because it's one of those that's been in my cart probably 5 times, and then my cart gets too big, and I'm like, I'll get that another time.
Yeah, I know what that is. And then I got this band. Everyone probably knows this band. I think they're from Germany. I don't know. I think Germany. Nomenon. They've been around a long time, but they were actually one of the earlier bands to bring back like the what people now call old school death metal. They were like one of the earlier bands to do that.
Yeah.
Them with like Bloodbath and stuff. Before that became like a thing. And basically what it was, I think they were just because they just missed. They were probably just not old enough to put out an album in 1990. But their first album was probably like in late 90s, so it wasn't really a thing back then. So I always thought they were cool for that, and it's just good death metal. Some stuff I don't listen to a whole lot of, but like more death grind, Anthropic. If you like Terrorizer, that's pretty much, I would say, what you're getting here. I think this is their first album. They just had like some splits. I always pick up stuff from remember the Ibex Moon label, John McEntee.
Oh yeah.
I always like picking up his stuff back then, and stuff that I didn't get. I still like to get when I see it, floating around on the internet. So I got this Quinta Essentia album. It's pretty good. People talked about it back then when it came out, and like, I know I'm not saying any years on it. 2008 on this one. I think that Nomenon was from around that time too. So yeah, this is from the US, like black death metal. I haven't heard it in a long time. I can't remember if it's kind of if it's like that Swedish sound, or I don't remember. I just remember it being like black and death metal. Pretty good. So yeah, I just showed 4 things. I'll stop.
Okay. I'm responding to Simon. He's mouthing off again.
Oh man, gotta keep him in line. Fumes of Hatred, what's up, man? Yeah, Rick. Yeah, Anthropic from New York. Yeah, you're right. Nobody did talk about that. I didn't even know about that album. I had their they did a split with Ruin, one of my favorite current death metal bands. And I didn't even know about that album until recently, but it's really good.
Well, now I want to just troll Simon and find like the pussiest thing I can find, but I'll just go with what's on top here. So I finally got over my hipster hatred and picked up all the Visigoths.
Oh, dude, I love Visigoth. I'm proud of you.
So I got this. I guess it's a comp of the first EP and the demo.
Cool.
Final Spell of Vengeance comes in slipcase, which is what I feel like I say this every time. Why do you do a slipcase with the exact same art?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it?
This is a little bit more of a reason because it holds a little mini poster here.
Oh, cool. I like that.
But yeah, I was happy to get this.
I picked up that Final Spell, the original EP. I had to pay like $25 for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I got it.
It's a fairly recent reissue. I think it's South American or something. But it's official. And yeah, I guess finally getting into Kaladin Brood, which I was 15 years late on at least, kind of convinced me to like check out those guys' other projects. And
man, that guy is so talented.
Oh yeah,
Jake Rogers or whatever. Jesus, the hype is real with that guy, I would say.
Oh, I had one that sort of went with that. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, Eric John McEntee had a label. It wasn't. Scott probably remembers. It wasn't very. I mean, it was probably 3 to 5 years, probably at the most.
It wasn't very long.
He just wasn't. He just wasn't making money with it, and like it was like more effort than it was worth. So he stopped doing it. But he put out some cool little kind of gems.
I also picked this up off of Bandcamp. Arid Wethrin. It's some kind of Tolkien thing.
Oh, I like that stuff.
Only one album. It's called Tides of War. So this is the other guy from Kaladin Brood.
Oh shit.
Sven something or other. So kind of like it's very in the Kaladin Brood vein. Not as good, but if you're in the mood for that kind of epic black metal,
Yeah. Plus, like
Fantasy
Caliban
Empire.
don't seem to be really working on a second album or anything.
No. And this is also fairly old. I think it was like it's at least 10 years old, and I think it's the only thing they ever put out. So I think this is probably done, but they still have copies on Bandcamp if you want to check it out. I would recommend it if you're into Caliban Brood for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting that. Simon's listening to Arion. That's actually pretty cool. I love Arion.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected. Yeah, I didn't know Simon was into Arion. That's cool.
I was super into them for a while, and then kind of lost track, and I'm way behind now. So.
Oh, I am too. Yeah, same here. I really like those. They probably did it a bunch. There's like a part 1 and 2. The one with like House on Mars. That I don't know. I always forget what they're called, but they're great albums. Did you ever hear the story, Scott, about how Devin Townsend ended up doing a track for Arion?
Yeah, wasn't it
the funny story?
He wasn't going to do it unless he let him write his own part, and then he said okay or something like that. Yeah, that's all I really remember.
He hates you probably knew this. Like he's not a fan of just like guesting on albums. He's which I totally get. And so like he wasn't familiar with Arion, and the guy from Arion's a really nice guy, but he wrote Devin an email, and Devin just basically responded. He's like, no. He didn't know who he was, and he's I just thought you were maybe some kid or something. I'm sorry, I didn't know you had like an established career. And he's like, I don't like guessing on albums. It just seems like it's just throwaway, and it usually is, but the guy was like persistent because like he doesn't just ask everyone to join his albums. Like he has, since he started, he wrote a huge list of people he wanted to work with. And so he's just been checking them off slowly. So he's like, no, I really, really want you to do this. Please, please, please. And Devin's like, all right, only if I can, at least write the lyrics. And the guy's like, done. So funny story.
Last I heard, the only person that he really wanted that he couldn't get was Tony Martin.
Oh, shit.
That apparently Tony Martin
wouldn't do it. Not like he has better things to do.
You would think so, but apparently he thinks he's worth way more than Arion's going to pay him. So
that's a shame. Yeah. It's not like he's guesting on every album for everybody, and
right.
Damn. Yeah, shit. He's even gotten Bruce Dickinson. So obviously Bruce wasn't too good for it, Right. Jeff Tate. I think Jeff Tate's been on there. I can't remember if Halford has done it yet. But yeah, if you can get Bruce Dickinson, you can get Tony Martin. Come on.
You would think, but
that would be a great reply. Like, oh yeah, that's funny because Bruce Dickinson didn't throw a fit, All right, so
maybe the payment's not that great, and Tony really needs the money, and Bruce doesn't. I don't know.
Probably, yeah, but even still, if it's like very little effort on your end, maybe. Yeah. Even if it's like a couple $100, it's like what, if it's an hour or two of your time, like, come on. Especially because like the guy writes everything. So he's going to write your lyrics. All you got to do is sing them,
Yeah.
I do love Tony Martin. I love Tony Martin, but that's a shame to hear that. Yeah, it is. You wouldn't even have to go to a studio or anything. So I got, this is a total random thing. Never really heard of this band. It's actually really good though. From the US, Light Crusher. Pretty cool album cover too. So this band, like, they've done like, it's kind of like a combination of like black metal, death metal, maybe some doom death in there. Surprisingly good. They kind of shifted from, I think they started out more black metal. I think they're more like doom death now or something like that. But it's like, 2023. Shit, pretty new. Surprisingly good. For a blind buy. And then another blind buy. I've been kind of digging some melodic death metal lately too, especially like especially the mid 90s stuff. So I bought this because it looked kind of cool. I've only listened to a track or two, and it's pretty good. It's not really blowing me away, but Upon Stone, Century Media Records. You see that and you're like, okay, maybe I'll buy that. And I actually had a gift card at this record store, and I didn't actually have to pay for it. It's their first album, Dead Mother Moon. They're from the US. Yeah, it's it's mid '90s, like Swedish melodic death metal. I've heard it done better, but it's pretty solid.
Is that new?
Yeah, this came out this year, 2020.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I never seen it.
I didn't know it was that new. That's all my death metal stuff. So you can go. Actually, I have some more, but I'm going to do it all in one go. So you can go.
Okay. These were some blind buys. I ordered a couple things and then got a couple free, buy one get one free deals. So this one I have not listened to yet. It's called Satan's Propaganda.
Oh.
And cool. The name of it is Rock for Satan.
Oh, yeah.
They're a German band. It just looked very silly. That's kind of why I grabbed it. We've got songs like Goat Beach Massacre.
Goat Beach Massacre.
Rock the Nun Until You Come. Horned and Horny.
And especially being German, it's going to be good.
Yeah, it's just going to be silly nonsense, I'm sure. But I'm sure I will like it.
But I feel like when Germans do it, even if it's silly, it's still very sincere,
Yeah, yeah. So here's the dudes in there.
Yeah, German metal people are just like the best. They're so, I don't know. They're so devoted, I feel like. Oh shit. Yeah,
a little bit of Spleeze, never hurt anybody, right?
I'd buy that.
And then, all right, everyone, hold on to your skirts. This is a spicy one.
Spicy.
Brumalis, and the name of it, I don't know, pure something or other. The reason I got this is, shall we say, extreme right wing.
Yeah.
The reason I got it was because the place I was buying it from, I just thought it was funny that they had it based on the politics of them and people they associate with. So I just got it for free simply for that.
You had to see what it was all about.
Yep. This sucks. This is boring and terrible.
Run-of-the-mill black metal.
It's a little bit pagan-y, and not. I shouldn't say terrible.
Yeah.
C- level.
You've heard it done better a million times.
You've heard it a million times, and every time was better.
Yeah.
And then this version has some bonus tracks at the end. And well, I guess they got better as they went along because these bonus tracks were really freaking terrible. And they do a cover of Lost Wisdom on here, which, like, well, it's a cover of a good song. How bad can it be? And they somehow ruined it. So
I felt like Burzum songs are hard to play,
Right. So yeah, not good at all.
All right, it happens. What's up, Roger? By the way, the mighty Roger from over in Norway, and Nate. What's up, Nate? Nate's awesome. Devin Townsend worked with Nickelback. Is that real? Oh yeah, I guess I could see that. They're both Canadian, and Devin has stated that, like, I think he's known the Nickelback guys since like their early days, and they're probably not bad dudes. I could see that. I didn't know they actually worked together though. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah, I don't know if did Chad Kroeger guest on something? I don't even remember.
I think he did actually. He that now that you say that.
I think just like guest vocals, like background vocals or something, maybe.
He might have guested on Empath. Yeah, like it was a very like minor, like I don't even know if you can hear it type of thing.
Right.
I think he might be on Empath. But yeah, I've heard Devin talk about them in the past. Like I said, I think he's known them since like the early days, and I think they're actually reportedly decent dudes. And so no harm, no foul there, Sometimes your friends aren't always the cool kids.
Yep.
All right, so I got all the new releases from Doom to Obscurity, local death metal label to me.
Oh, sweet.
I'll just kind of breeze through these because there's a pretty good stack of them, and then you can, if anyone is interested in what they are, they can kind of look them up. This is one that I've been enjoying here. This is like brutal death metal, so I've been in that kind of mindset. Wait till you see this album cover. This is like total cut and paste, like MS Paint or something. So I think it's from like the late 90s or mid 90s. Band's called Reprobation, The Color of Gore. But look at that. It's a good album though. Yeah, it's good brutal death metal from mid 90s brutal death metal from the US. This is a cool band here, Fatal Cause. They were around like in the early or mid 90s. They had members. I think they're from Salt Lake City, so they had members from Wicked Innocence. So pretty cool, like more like progressive death metal kind of. And then this one I like a lot, Mind Christ. I like that one. The other probably the better of the two. Haven't listened to this one yet, Excoriate. And these are all for those that are unfamiliar with this label, he basically re-releases like lost demos from the 90s. There's a lot of labels that do that, but there's a lot of charm, in a lot of them. So Dead Molestation. Can't remember where they're from. This is an old, I think, a Norwegian band. So maybe Roger knows this. Vidar Vang. 92 and 95 demos. Yeah, Norway, it says right on the back. So maybe if anyone's going to know, it's going to be Roger. Vidar Vang. Very, very brutal vocals on that. Like surprisingly guttural. And Scott, you might know this one because members of Sathanas, you probably remember this one, Batham.
I haven't heard it, but yeah, I know of it.
I think they didn't have a lot of material. They made one or two demos, I think, from the early 90s, very early, 90, 91. So this might have everything they did. It's got 4 songs, but I know you probably like them. I love Sathanas. Batham is basically just a super, super primitive Sathanas. And Roger has heard of Vidar Vang. Oh man. Like I said, if anyone in the world is going to know of this little band that had 2 demos 30 years ago in Norway, it's going to be Roger. I think some of those guys went on to do some other stuff. I could be wrong. And then last but not least, Dethroned. This is pretty cool. I think this one, US band, Creating Heavenly Impurities. Pretty cool Jesus bashing cover art on the inside there. So yeah.
Did you ever get Hot Stove?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, Hot Stove is good. Yeah, I actually really, really enjoyed those Hot Stove songs.
My Waco Jesus
yes
collection is not complete without it.
Nope. And he's doing he just started doing t-shirts. You can get yourself a Hot Stove t-shirt. All right. I'm pretty sure they're available now.
Okay, cool. Oh, let's see, what do I got? All right. I won't pull this out. Everybody probably knows the real cover, right?
I've heard that. I've heard the name. I haven't heard that album. Black Metal.
Numenorian, right? This is Home, their debut. Okay. So the slipcase covers a autopsy photo of a 3-year-old girl.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I mean, brutal. I guess I understand what they're going for. This is, so if you don't know, this is kind of like post-black metal, black gaze, very long atmospheric songs with kind of major key parts. If you hate Deaf Heaven, you probably won't like this. It's kind of in that vein.
I remember liking what I heard. I haven't.
I love it. Yeah, I just finally picked it up. I really, really, really like it.
Yeah. I'm gonna reinvestigate.
That cover was a turnoff for quite some time. It's like,
yeah, you don't want to look at that.
I don't want to look at that. I guess the idea of it is she kind of looked like she's smiling, and the lyrical focus of the album is, people being corrupted and ruined over time, and wouldn't it just be better if we all were innocent and then left this world? So I guess that's what they're going for. Just a really off-putting album cover.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at it ever.
A bold statement they were going for, I'm sure.
Yeah. There is one more that came out like a year or two ago, and I think they're done now. But yeah, I really enjoy that one.
Cool. I'm looking at that.
Here's one I literally just came in the mail. It's not even unwrapped yet. The new Matter Mortem.
Okay, I've heard the name.
Yeah, kind of progressive, dark rock metal.
Oh, sweet.
The singer Agneta is one of my favorite female vocalists just ever.
Oh wow.
So a super powerful voice. Very. How do I say this without being sexist? I don't like when female vocalists just try to sound like dudes. Like I just like,
Yeah.
well, what's the point? I mean, whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
Her voice is very feminine, but very powerful as well, and she can just really belt it out and really show a lot of emotion in it. This is kind of emo-y. They're very strange. They're hard to categorize, but
yeah,
nobody else really liked them, and yeah, happy to have the new album. There's a documentary that they made called, I believe, Howls from the Underground. That's pretty neat. It goes through kind of the life of, it's a brother and sister that are the main people in the band, and it goes through like their life in small town Norway, and
cool.
She struggled with weight her whole life and has kind of some breakdowns where she feels like the band never got the attention it deserved because she didn't look good in a corset. And
yeah, I don't blame her, and she might be right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's too bad, but
yeah,
yeah, a cool documentary if you want to learn more about them.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, especially if they're more progressive, I'd be curious to hear that.
Yeah, I think you would get something out of it.
Yeah. Oh, and Peter, Peter. So Doomed to Obscurity is the label that has that Batham album. Unfortunately, I don't know if he has yet any European or UK distribution. I should tell him. I should ask him about that. It's still a fairly new label, and he's been trading with like labels like I can't remember if he's traded with Caligari, but what's the other tape label that everyone likes, Scott? Not Caligari, but the other one.
Maggot Stomp?
No, more cooler than that. I always lump them together with Caligari. The guy that runs it, his name is Disgustor. I think they're from Portland. It's a Portland label. Head Split. Yeah, Rick's got me. Head Split.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's traded with Head Split. Gurgle and Gore, good guess there. Yeah, he's traded with Head Split, and he's traded with some other bigger labels of that sort. But I don't think he has any UK distribution yet. I'll have to ask him about that. I'm sure he'd love to though, but you know how it goes. All right, so let's see what I have now. I have some thrash metal stuff. I'll go through the stack of thrash because I mean, not much here needs to really be talked about for at length or anything. Like I never had this album, but I do love it. The New Order by Testament, their second album. First two Testament albums for me, and this is the original pressing. Not that matters. First two Testament albums for me are like just pure gold. Everything after that is hit or miss. I could probably do without it, but I love the first two. And always wanted this album, but just never really picked it up back when it came out, and it's been repressed. Tempo of the Damned, Exodus. I'm not a huge Exodus fan, to be honest. I like maybe 3 albums from them.
Yeah.
And this is actually one of them. This is the last album they did with Paul Bailoff before he died. He left, came back, did that album, then died some years later. But not a huge Exodus fan. But and this is probably here. This is one of my. I used to have this back when it came out. One of my favorite modern Megadeth albums. Even though it has a lot of bad songs, but the World Needs a Hero. It's got some terrible songs, but it has like 3 or 4 really good ones. So for that, I'll listen to it. And who knows why I got rid of my old copy? Probably didn't like it. And then I bought this just because it's in better condition than my copy. So Corrosion of Conformity. This is their second album, Animosity. I think it's my favorite thing they ever did, at least of the early days. It's super brutal. And Picked up this 1982 EP from Sodom. Just of the old German bands, I think Sodom, for me, they're definitely my favorite. Especially as they've aged. Like I think Creator are awful nowadays. And I think Destruction have gotten really boring. And I think Sodom still put out at least fairly interesting music still. So I grabbed that. New EP from Ghoul. I actually really enjoy Ghoul. Yeah, their last album I thought was awesome. This is I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm sure it's a lot of fun. No debating that. And then this thrash band that I've never heard of. I bought it because of the Ed Repka cover art, which is not particularly good or anything, but it's a really fun thrash album. It's, I guess you could call it kind of thrash death, but more on the thrash end. It's just a lot of fun. I think South American or something like that. They look to me like maybe Central American dudes. But yeah, it's actually really fun. Corrosive. I'm probably not saying the band names on half of these. Corrosive, Toxic Apocalypse. If you like thrash and you're not totally bored of it, nowadays it's just super ripping, tons of guitar solos and fast tempos. Like it's a lot of fun. I don't buy a lot of like modern thrash stuff at all, so I really enjoyed it.
Cool. Yeah, I don't thrash. I feel like I have what I want, and I don't really.
Yeah, exactly. Every now and then a band will put out something cool, and I'm like, all right, I like this, but it's so few and far between.
Well, how about more shit I haven't listened to?
Yeah, it's okay.
So I don't know if you're familiar with he's a new channel, Maddox Deep Shadows. He's in Australia and shows tons of really great underground black metal stuff.
I love Australian people, so I'll definitely watch that.
So he was showing a couple Drowning with the Light albums that he was really hyping up. And that's always been a band I've got a decent amount of stuff, but it's probably 4% of what he actually put out because he's every 14 seconds there's a new EP or something coming out.
Oh, one of those bands.
So I kind of not really wrote him off, but
I know what you mean.
Kind of quit paying attention because it just was too overwhelming. But he said these full lengths were really good, so I found.
You don't want to buy 10 albums a year from one band.
Right. All limited to as well.
Yeah.
But there's a distro called Metal Curations. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they get a lot of stuff other people don't get, and they were having a 50% off sale, and they had these Drowning in the Light albums. So I got Haunter of the Deep.
I do like a lot of Drowning in the Light. When that guy is on, he's definitely really good.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, like you said, he puts out way too much stuff sometimes.
I mean, I think he just put out. They were selling them in a bundle. Three EPs that came out within the last couple months.
Oh God, that's just too much. Like, why not wait and just put out one thing?
Right.
But I get it. Some people probably really like that.
And then this one, Ocean of Eternity. Pick that one up too for super cheap.
I don't think I've heard any of his stuff in the last probably 3-4 years, but like where I left off, he was really good.
Yeah, I haven't either, so I'm looking forward to it. Also in that sale, I'll just run through these. I got the Ebony Pendant album that kind of had my eye for a while.
I've heard of it. I've heard it's really good.
Yep, me too, and I haven't listened to it yet, so I can't really say anything about it.
It's probably good. We know that.
Yeah. I just grabbed this one. I'd listened to some clips and it sounded cool. Celestial Conjuration.
Looks very cool.
Some kind of
like the name too.
Demo comp or something like that. So
yeah.
Again, not much to say about it because I haven't really listened to it besides.
Is that Dark Descent on the back? Is that what I saw? Or Dark?
No, it's Dark Adversary.
Adversary, yeah, even better actually.
Drowning the Lights label.
Yeah, they put out some good stuff. That label.
And I got another one they threw in for free. Cast in Dark Grandeur by Nither, which I've never heard of. So.
Oh, right off the bat, that's got to be Antichrist Kramer cover art.
Yeah, it does look like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Which not a fan of the man, but I do like his artwork.
Yep, cover painted by Anna Kramer. There you go.
Yeah, I love his. I mean, his artwork is fucking awesome.
Yeah, another Dark Adversary release. Cool. So yeah, got some work to do on those. But yeah, if you're looking for stuff like that, I highly recommend Metal Curations.
I could use some more black metal stuff, actually. Yeah, I would buy any of those. Yeah, Rick, that the world needs a hero cover art. Yeah, it's pretty lame.
Yeah,
I got a soft spot for Megadeth. I did kind of like I didn't buy the last album, so I guess that soft spot is kind of roughed up a little bit. But I do love old Megadeth and even some newer stuff. Yeah, like you said, Dread and the Fugitive Mind, Return to Hangar, and my favorite song on there actually is what's it called? Recipe for Hate, Warhorse. Some awesome riffing and some really great guitar work, and actually like the drummer that plays on here, he only played on this one album. Imagine that, one guy lasting one album in Megadeth. But yeah, his name is Jimmy DeGrasso. I have no idea what he's done, but such a good drummer. Like some of the best drum work I've heard on a Megadeth album. I've never really heard anyone say that, but I'm not a musician, so I probably don't know what I'm talking about. But good drumming, at least I think.
It sounds like I should know who that is.
Name sounds he's probably if he's in Megadeth, or if he was in Megadeth, you know, he's probably got a resume of good stuff he's done. Yeah. But I didn't know who he was. Check out a new album by The Simulator. Crosses over into death metal here, cynic style vocals. Sounds cool. Nate's got great taste, so I actually would not mind checking that out. All right, well, let's see, what do I got? Let's see. Nate knows him. Yeah, Nate, what has Jimmy DeGrasso been in? Like I said, you don't get in Megadeth by being a new, unknown person. So, okay, grabbing another stack here. This stuff I'll be going through really quickly because most of it I just don't have. There's not much that needs to be said, or I haven't heard it yet. Scott, you sent me this Tori Amos album. Sorry if I wasn't supposed to say that. Just kidding. No, I don't. I'm. If you sent it to me, I'm definitely going to listen to it. So I don't know anything about Tori Amos other than I just remember her name a lot from like the '90s. So
yeah, I'm a big fan of her. Like through like the first 10 years or so. After that, I kind of lost track. But yeah, that's a great album.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to listen to it. I know I don't talk about it a lot on here, but I love the Ramones and I love Misfits. And so this band was kind of like a super group of members of those bands. So obviously, it's a little older because all the Ramones guys are dead. So this had Marky on it it's from 2006. I would have never bought this just based on like the cover because I would have never known what it was. But Osaka Pop Star, it's just fun punk with old punk dudes from the Ramones and the Misfits like Jerry Only and Des Cadena, and they're really good songs. Not a huge Helicopters fan, but I do like their stuff from time to time. Nick A. Anderson from Entombed. So I bought this. I found this for like $1, and I actually really enjoyed it. It's like garage punk stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, and always liked this album back when it came out. I never did own a copy, but I love the first two Motley Crue albums, and I like their self-titled album.
I like that too.
It's really good. It's like a grunge album, basically. If you were to play this for somebody, and you would never guess that it's even Motley Crue. It sounds 0% like Motley Crue. But I love grunge stuff, so I think it's a really strong album. Faith No More, one of their early albums. I can't remember if it's the first one, but it has We Care a Lot, which is a fucking great song. And I like Faith No More. I'll go years and years without listening to them, and then I'll return and I'll just be obsessed. Another album that I liked from back when I was a kid but never owned a copy, Vivid by Living Colour. Just a great rock album. And that's the weird stuff out of the way. That's stuff that nobody probably cares about.
I remembered listening to Vivid when it came out and being hugely disappointed.
I like it as a personality
and then a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, Cult of Personality is the song that everyone knows, and it is probably the best song on there. The more heavy and more like energetic. But what I like about it is like no two songs really sound the same, which is something I can appreciate for most genres.
Yeah, and that was when it came out.
Yeah,
in my opinion, would be different now. I looked up Jimmy DeGrasso. He played drums for Alice Cooper from '89 to 2010.
Holy shit, that makes sense because on that album, Al Pitrelli is the guitarist, and he was in Alice Cooper too, so they probably played together. And he was also in Sabotage, Al Pitrelli.
And that it's on Metal Archives, which they don't have a listing for Alice Cooper, so it just kind of has a date range. But I thought Eric Singer played drums in Alice Cooper during that time, so I don't know.
I didn't know Eric Singer played for Alice Cooper. Shit,
I thought he did. Yeah.
I don't know too much about Alice Cooper. I have some friends that are massive fans, but I don't know too much.
Well, while we're talking about Alice, I have the new album, Signed.
Oh, wow.
Road. Guy I watch, All the World's a Stage, is a big Alice Cooper fan, and he cannot stand this album. So I have it, and I haven't listened to it yet. It was a gift from my aunt and her boyfriend, who went to see him live, and
oh, that's cool.
Got this signed, so that was really cool of them. I'll definitely be listening to it, but
I actually haven't heard of that album. I know I watch a lot of channels like people that talk about Alice Cooper. I feel like I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, it's just came out last year, so
oh, okay.
I don't know. I've heard other opinions. I've heard people like it too. So here's what I expect. I expect I'll listen to it and enjoy it a few times, and then probably forget about it. But
yeah, I mean,
those legacy ones tend to go a lot of times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Welcome to my nightmare is what Eric mentioned. I actually really like that album. Yeah. I haven't even heard 10% of Alice Cooper stuff. But like that's the album so far that has struck me as like, okay, I really dig this. I don't really like the super early stuff.
Okay. Like the like Love It to Death, or like the really early like Frank Zappa.
The early stuff when it was the Alice Cooper band. Like
really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's good, but it's just I don't know. It doesn't I just don't care as much when it's more like garage rocky,
Right.
For some reason don't really care for it.
Man, I got the box set of everything I think up through the 80s, and he took some weird turns when he went new wave. He went new wave for a while, and
I've heard the new wave stuff. If you like new wave, it's really good. But if you don't, you're probably gonna hate it. Like,
it's not for me.
Yeah,
it wasn't part of the box set. I wouldn't have it anymore. Yeah. But yeah, interesting career for sure.
I'm pretty sure those are the albums that like Alice Cooper doesn't remember making.
Yep, exactly.
So yeah, there you go. That's maybe could tell you a lot. I don't know.
Well, I was super happy to find this. It's the first EP from Mansion.
Yeah, I love Mansion.
We Shall Live.
Awesome band. So
this one, every once in a while, I just go on Discogs and see if anybody has any Mansion stuff in America. Just because it seems pretty hard to come by.
It is.
So I saw this listed for $3 at a local store.
Holy shit.
So wow. I messaged them, hey, I want to come in and buy it, and they never got back to me. So the next day I run in there. It's not out among the CDs. They don't know where it could be. Then the guy looks it up. He goes, oh, it looks like we listed that 7 years ago. I was like, I don't think so, because I've been checking, and it hasn't been there.
Yeah, you would know.
They couldn't find it. I was super pissed.
Holy shit.
But I went on Discogs, and somebody else was selling it for $3. Wow. I don't know where these turned up from, but
yeah, I don't either. You almost have to get them, I think, from Europe.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have any U.S. distribution. Maybe.
This was on something called 9 Records, which is Polish.
Yeah.
So I don't know how but I really like the aesthetic of the art. Like they're all in this cult.
I only have one Mansion album, but I had to order from Finland, so I had to pay like $30-$40 for it.
Oh, what'd you get?
It was their last, not the most recent full length, but the one before that.
Oh, really? Okay.
I need to
I
get
got that. Hell's
one.
Headbangers had it for a minute. That's where I got that one.
Oh shit. But did they have an album last year? Because if they did, I fucked up.
Yeah, they did. I have an album. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like that's an easy top 10 probably album that I didn't even hear.
Yeah, it was on my top 10, and I couldn't get a copy of it. Well, I guess I could, but it would have been like $75 to get it over here.
I was gonna say, I thought you had it on yours. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, First Death of the Lutheran, that's the one I have. It's great. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
Yep.
It's so creepy and dark and like weird and
awesome. I've been listening to all the EPs, and they do vary quite a bit. Some of them are like psych rock.
Oh, okay.
But this is more in line with First Death of the Lutheran, kind of just that doomy stuff.
Do you ever follow them on Bandcamp or? Yeah, that's where yeah. Like that last album, they had some really cool bundles and stuff that I just missed out on. Like you get like 8x10 pictures of the singer and stuff autographed. I'm like, and not bad on price either. I'm like, oh man, I just kept forgetting to get it.
I think by the time I knew about them, most of those were gone.
Yeah.
Saw it. Jason at Black Leather Eyes had shown it. That's how I found out about them.
Yeah, they're just like a cult band. They make, their stuff is pretty limited, but it all sells. They sell out of everything that they press. And
I can't believe nobody has picked up that second album because it was just self-released.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping someday it will be more available.
Yeah, they have their Mansion record label where they just self-release stuff, and I'm gonna get that. I got to get that album from last year. Oh, it's even more self-released. It says independent. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
But damn, yeah, I need that. Okay, what do I got here? Some Doom stuff and some more weird stuff. Some people will appreciate some of the weirdos. Actually, I'm really glad that you sent me this because I like this album, and I'm assuming you probably don't. But Candlemass, I never know how to pronounce this. Dactylus glomerata.
I do like it. I got a reissue. So.
Oh, okay. It's really good. I think it's an album, a Candlemass album that goes under the radar because it's not from the classic era, but it's still great. Like I Still See the Black. Great song. Dust Flow. It's awesome. Always liked it. Never had a copy. I got the most recent Conan album. I'm not a big doom sludge type person, but I mean Conan, super heavy. I don't think you'd call it. I don't know what you'd call it. It doesn't matter, but it's super heavy doom metal. Napalm Records. It's just brutal doom stuff. I always liked it, and I think I mentioned this to you a while back. Every now and then I'll kind of go down the pallbearer path. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, they're so overrated. And then I'll listen to them and I'm like, oh, they're really good. So I got Heartless, which I have heard it. It's really good. Don't think I've heard this one. Foundations of Burden. And these are all, I think, Profound Lore. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I'm going to go down that path again pretty soon. Here's a band that I don't really listen to a lot of stuff like this, but I just love this band, the Jesus Lizard. That's like old noise rock stuff. Mm-hmm. Like if you like Helmet and stuff like that, this band kind of laid the foundation for that. It's just really good. I know Rick of all people I know showed this album, and I've always enjoyed this band for what it's worth. Tomahawk. You got like Mike Patton, and I think Dave Lombardo, I think, plays from time to time. Guys from the Melvins. So you know what you're getting when you see those names, but I do like it. This is weird noise rock experimental stuff. If me just saying that turns you off a little bit, it's not for you.
Yeah, I've listened to it. It's not for me.
It probably isn't, honestly. It's probably not for you. And it's not even something I listen to all the time. That's for sure. Also, I don't listen to a ton of goth rock, but I do love Sisters of Mercy. I was really resistant to this band because it's that band that every black metal fan loves, mm-hmm. But not, when I don't listen to metal, I listen to Sisters of Mercy. So I was always turned off by that. But they are really fucking good, actually. And I haven't heard, this is like one of their later albums, 1990. So I haven't heard that yet, but their 80s stuff, I think is great.
That's the Jim Steinman one, right? Didn't Jim Steinman produce that one?
Oh shit, did he? Maybe. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Produced by Eldritch and Steinman. Well, damn, Jim Steinman knows what he's doing.
That's right.
You can't argue that. There would not be a Meatloaf without Jim Steinman. He wouldn't have seen what there just wouldn't have been. He wrote all the songs.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you know.
So if you like that Sisters of Mercy album, I probably babbled about it to you before. Creeper, the new Creeper album.
Yeah, was that on your list? I can't remember your end.
It was on my list. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Called Sanguivore. It's goth rock, Sisters of Mercy, but heavy Jim Steinman influence.
Yeah, I forgot about it. I'm glad you mentioned that because I might. Yeah, I do want to check that out. Because you've talked to me about it a couple times. Let's see. Both, I think they have 3 albums, but the 2 that I like, Mazzy Star, Among My Swan, another band that I did not care about in the 90s. Like, this came out in 96, and I was listening to like grunge stuff, and you could probably almost lump this in with that, but just didn't care about them back then. But man, Look On Down from the Bridge is an amazing song. I don't care what your musical tastes are. Like, I think anyone could appreciate that. That's probably my favorite album of theirs. This one, So Tonight That I Might See. This is almost like a kind of like a Doors type sound. Really good. And here's a band that I'll forget about for 10 years at a time, but I'm not a huge like rockabilly, psychobilly fan, but Reverend Horton Heat, I love. Amazing band. This is probably one of their better known albums, Full Custom Gospel Sounds, and Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em. I think this is their first album from 1990. Man, this is just kick-ass rockabilly, rock and roll type stuff. They toured with Motorhead once. Just awesome. Yeah.
All right.
Mazzy Star was too moody for most during the 90s. But at the same time, like I said, if you were into, a lot of grunge stuff that was very moody, but I think it was too mellow for me back then. But I love it now.
I remember a friend had it. That's all I know. I don't think I've ever heard it. So
it's funny because they sold, I would imagine these 2 albums probably went, if not gold, probably platinum. Like, they were big albums, but like they weren't a band that released an album every year. They had 93, 96, and I think they had 1 other album. So they weren't like a band that, let's crank out an album every year and make as much money as we can. They seem to kind of do it at their own pace, which is respectable.
This is how little I knew. I wasn't sure if Mazzy Star was a band or a person. So
yeah, I thought that back then too. At one point, yeah. Fumes of Hatred saw Reverend Horton Heat with Motorhead. That had to have been such a cool tour.
Yeah.
Just pure rock and roll. That's great.
Well, I filled a hole. I finally got Icon 30 from Paradise Lost.
I have that album. Yeah.
Well, this is the re-recording.
Oh shit!
They just re-recorded it last year. Somehow I'm a huge Paradise Lost fan, but somehow I missed that they did this. They released it themselves, so it was not very available.
Okay.
But some copies popped up on eBay, so I was able to get one. It's just really basic, just like a card stock folding thing with the disc in there. There's no artwork or anything.
Yeah.
But it says Paradise Lost on it, and I didn't have it, so I fucking had to have it.
Is it just a straight re-recording, or is it a?
It's a straight re-recording.
Okay, that's cool though.
I haven't 8-beat it because I've heard Icon so many times. I don't feel like I have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's real close. There's some subtle changes and differences. Obviously, the drumming on the first one was not the best. Pretty simple. It never bothered me, but their new drummer does the drums on here, so that's a step up for sure.
Yeah.
I guess they don't, whatever deal they were on, I think it was Music for Nations at the time. They don't own this, so they wanted to do something to claim ownership of it because they couldn't remaster it or anything because they didn't own it. But yeah, is this essential? No, not at all. But
not if you already have it.
If you're a sicko and you need it, they're floating around on eBay.
Yeah, Peter, I understand where you're. Gothic is my favorite Paradise Lost, but I think they've done some good things since then. Gothic is probably one of my favorite metal albums ever. Actually, something about that album, I feel like it's like they never recaptured that sound. I don't think anyone recaptured that sound either. Like, I know bands have tried, but yeah, I'm a huge Gothic fan.
Come on, Peter, you don't like Host?
You know, Scott, I kind of like what's that like goth rock album they did? Is it like a purple album cover? I can't remember. No, that's
they formed a project called Host that put out an album last year.
This one I think is from at least got to be at least 20 years old or close to. I'm gonna look it up, but it's an album that I did not expect to like, but I actually really like it. Maybe it came out before Host or around that time or after. Let's see, not Draconian. One second. Yeah, one second.
Okay,
I dig it. I like it a lot.
I do too. I like Host too, so you can't take me seriously.
I haven't heard Host actually.
It was a huge misstep. But as an album, I like it.
I know they re-released that like a year or two ago, and I was actually going to just blind buy it, and I didn't. So I kind of regret not getting it. Oh, 2018. So 6 years ago, they re-released it, and I didn't buy it. But I want to give it a listen because, like I said, I didn't think I'd like Host, and actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yep.
Let's see, what do I have? We'll go into the traditional heavy metal territory for yeah, most of these I'll just whip through because there's almost no point in even showing them. Filling in gaps and like stuff that I had when I was a kid and felt like owning again. Like Diary of a Madman, my favorite Ozzy album. I don't listen to Ozzy solo stuff almost ever anymore, but that was my favorite band as a kid at one point anyway. No Rest for the Wicked. This is the first Ozzy album I ever heard. I think it holds up pretty well. This would be known for being the Zakk Wylde's breakthrough, which is a shame. They should have never. No, Zakk Wylde's a great guitarist. I don't think he's done anything good personally. I don't know. Okay. Hot take, right? I think most people would agree with me that are watching right now, though.
I really like his Pride and Glory album that he put out before.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. I forgot about that. That is actually like a good southern rock album.
Yeah. And then his acoustic one I really like too. Book of Shadows, I think.
Book of Shadows is actually pretty good. Yeah, you're right. I actually listened to that Pride and Glory album a lot back when it came out. I loved it. And I'm not even like a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan or anything.
Yeah, me
either. There's a lot of heart in that. So you might know this. I don't know. Maybe not. Danzig's been re-releasing his old stuff or all of his stuff lately on these like rubbery digipacks.
No, I did not know that.
Yeah. So I missed out on. This came out in the phase where I was like, I'm tired of Danzig. But since then, I've rekindled my love for the man and him doing stuff like this. But not a bad album. I love the theory. Yeah, no kidding. Not a bad album, actually. I think it's actually pretty solid.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, are there any bonus material on those, or just?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Yeah, and it's weird though. They're digipacks, but they're like rubbery feeling. I don't know what you would call this material at all. I think it's cardboard with some kind of weird coating. It's kind of cool.
So, did those just come out?
They have been coming out over the last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that maybe this is made out of like his recycled pants. They just melted them down, and that's what it feels like. Here's what I think is one of the best modern Danzig albums, Circle of Snakes.
Yep, like that one too.
Yeah, really good. So I got those, and I was actually excited to have those because some of those have been out of print for a long time. You can't get them. I know I've been talking about this band quite a bit because total under the radar band, and probably will always be that way. That this band probably will never get their due because there's just too much stuff out there. But Skin Her, you probably would think that's death metal or something, but it's just total heavy metal. It's like Sabotage meets Dokken. The songs play like a horror movie anthology. Like every song is about like a different horror movie type situation. So lyrically, it's really fun, and musically, it's awesome. They're from Greece. and they're known for like having members from a band called Hail Spirit Noir, which are like a really cult kind of um, like avant-garde black metal band. A lot of people really like them. I've never gotten super into them, but I was really surprised. Like when I put this on, I'm like, oh man, this is awesome. The vocals, though, when the vocals come in, that'll ruin it. And the vocals come in and they're awesome. And I was like, well, this guy can sing. Okay, so yeah, one of the better, more enjoyable, like classic kind of '80s metal albums I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, you sent me that. You sent me that link, and I really enjoyed that too.
Yeah, most bands nowadays, like I really appreciate there are people still doing that kind of thing, but most of it just bores me, you know.
And with that style, man, you got to have a killer vocalist because you're right. Yeah. You're waiting for the vocals, like, please don't suck, please don't suck. And if they suck after 10 seconds, I'm out.
Yeah, vocals come in and it sounds like some guy that's just as I could do just as good of a job. I'm like, oh man, what a letdown, you know. And then you sent me this, and which I was really glad because I didn't have any John Oliva's Pain stuff. So glad you sent me that because I've been wanting to get pretty much all of it because I love Savatage, and I don't know why I've avoided, like I've heard like 2 or 3 of his albums and I just never bought any of them, but this is actually really good, as are the other ones I've heard.
Yeah, the same thing happened with me, and I remember an interview with him where people, everybody asked when's Savatage coming back together, and this was years
ago. Apparently they are. Did you hear that? Apparently Savatage are like coming back.
Right, but then at the time he was like,
at the time, yeah,
basically John Oliva's Pain is Savatage, so if you like Savatage, get those. And I
would agree with that.
Get them here and there.
Yeah,
saw him live actually.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Must have been 10 years ago now. Just in a tiny little shitty bar in Detroit. It was freaking awesome.
Wow. Yeah, I think, yeah, so Savatage have been working on a new album for a while now, but I didn't think it was actually going to happen. I think they're going on tour real soon, or they might even be like now.
Savatage is? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I got to check that out.
Yeah, you got John Oliva. It was that later incarnation of Savatage, which is fine by me. It's John Oliva, you got Chris Caffrey, and I think Zach Stevens is still with them. So I think Zach is probably going to sing most of the songs, and John is just going to be there. Which is, I think it's cool that he should, that he would be there. So yeah, the later incarnation, which is fine by me, and I think they're going to do a new album too. Which I've read interviews with John. Like it sounds like he actually is pretty, like he really does want this. He doesn't want to do a Savatage album just to do it. If he did, it would already be out. So right. he's putting whatever he can into it, and I'm stoked. Here's another modern heavy metal band that's pretty cool. I remember them coming out, and I wanted to get the album, and I didn't, and so I picked it up recently. Johnny Touch, funny name, but look at that album cover. These are Australian guys from like your usual suspects from Australia, from bands like the black thrash scene and stuff like that. I can't remember who, but Shadow Kingdom Records. It's surprisingly good. Decent vocals. I mean, considering the guys that are in this band, you're not going to expect a Jeff Tate or anything like that. But it's just cool that they did it, and it's a really really solid album.
Did I send you that?
What's that?
Did I send you that?
No. I bought this. I think I picked it up on Discogs or something because I just like wanted it. Yeah, when it came out, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I don't care now. But then I've been revisiting it. I'm like, this is really fun. This is like tons of good, really good guitar solos and cool songs. And yeah, if you can get past the fact that, you're not going to get a Jeff Tate type vocalist, right. It's just, you're going to get a guy doing his best that, a black metal dude, that also loves classic metal. I'm going to show this for about 1 second because I have nothing to say about it. A random Malmsteen album that I bought.
All right.
Don't know. I love his earlier stuff, but now he's got 50 albums and I just don't really care to keep up.
Yeah.
I love his early stuff.
A local store I don't know if they're trying to get rid of all their CDs, but they had a big chunk of Malmsteen and they're all like $2. And I bought them. And
I would too.
Now I have them, and then they sit there. I don't know.
Now you have them, and you may never listen to them at all, even
maybe.
Once.
Yeah.
Bought this just because, like, I saw it sitting for a couple bucks. I saw this band live something like 20 years ago, and they were awesome. I don't think their music is super awesome, but 3 Inches of Blood from Canada. Yeah, they just killed live. They were nice guys.
I agree. Yeah, they were super good live.
Heir Apparent from Seattle. Awesome. Traditional metal, also sometimes kind of progressive. They started off more of like Queensryche, and they became almost Dream Theater. So good though. Probably one of the more underrated bands in heavy metal history. Hanging in the Balance, Metal Church. Love Metal Church.
Wow.
Check that album cover out, though.
Find that?
Yeah, this is not an easy one to find. Local record store, I had to pay. I think I paid over $20 for it, but 1993 Blackheart Records.
That was Joan Jett's label, wasn't it?
Oh, you're probably right. Yeah. I mean, that's just what metal. That's where metal was in '93. No one really cared, you know. But it's
maybe the stupidest album cover of all time.
Yeah, seriously. It's a pretty good album, though. Musically, it's awesome. I think this is the album that no, Kurt Vanderhoof is on this. Even Kurt Vanderhoof left the band for a while. Like he left for like one album or something. But no, he's on this one. It's good. It's actually really good. Oh boy, I can't wait to see people's reactions on this one. The only Iron Maiden album I never owned, and I found it at a thrift store. Anyone want to guess what it is?
I saw it, so I'm not going to.
Well, you didn't have to guess, so yeah.
Oh.
Come on, the Angel and the Gambler. No, it's a terrible song.
No.
There are like moments on this album, but I don't even know if there's a full song that I like. Okay, well, no, the Klansman's great, but it's better with Bruce singing it. Mm-hmm. Klansman, oh, that might be it, really. But there's like, other than Klansman, there's moments on this album that are like, all right, this is good. But I don't even think you can say that for a full song.
I've got it. Even if I didn't have it, I would feel like I had to have it. So
yeah, exactly. I always wanted to get it, but I've always told myself I'm not gonna pay full price for it. This is the first time I've seen it used ever. So, and the reason is not that people wanted to get rid of it, but it's just no one had it, you know. So it's a thrift store. So some guy's mom probably unloaded, you know, his CDs from the late '90s. This is decent. I heard it's terrible, and I would completely disagree that it's definitely not terrible. Lame cover art, but last in line. Frontiers Records. You probably heard of this, Scott, right?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I haven't listened to it.
You got some of the guys from Dio, Vivian Campbell, Vinny Appice, those two guys, and then some other guys that I haven't heard of, but it's pretty good. I don't know. I heard it's trash, and it's not. It's kind of like grungy heavy metal, but I don't know. I liked it way more than the reviews would have led me to believe. Yeah,
I've heard a lot of praise from it from kind of the non-metal VC channels I watch.
Okay.
So
I think I saw reviews based on, you know, more heavy metal guys, and oh, this is trash, and like, so I bought it really cheap. I'm like, let's see how trashy this is, and like, I don't know, some of the songs are really well written and surprisingly memorable. I don't know. They put out an album, I think, last year with way cooler cover art than that. But whatever. Black Sabbath, the Dio years. I always wanted this when it came out and never bought it. Now it's out of print. But yeah, obviously you buy this for the Ronnie songs that were unreleased, and they're not mind blowing, right? I wouldn't say.
No, they're okay.
But they're Ronnie, and you have to have it. They're not terrible either, but yeah. And then last thing I'll show in this long-winded thing, but I love Glenn Hughes, and I'd never heard of this album, Return of Crystal Karma, SPV. So this is probably huge in Germany or something.
Right.
Glenn Hughes is one of the best singers ever, and look at the eyeliner.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's like proggy hard rock. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, he's such a great singer, and I feel like I've just scratched the surface of hearing all the stuff he's been involved in, and
same here. Yeah.
Sadly, it's going to be one of those things that, you know, God forbid, but it's going to happen. That someday you're going to hear that he passed, and then you're like, oh man! And then
isn't he like 70? I think he's like 70 years old or something. So,
yeah.
It could happen.
And the freaking life he's led, I can't. He looks awesome for what
he looks great. Yeah,
what he put himself through.
He's one of those Aussie characters where he's like, he just has great genetics. He should be dead or at least a zombie. And he's fucking. He looks healthy. He sounds great. He's like with it. He's sharp. You know. Yeah. I've done none of those drugs, and when I'm his age, I'll probably be dead. I probably wouldn't even live that long. You know. Right. I don't have the genetics, so. Yeah. Fucking great singer.
Well, I'll blow through a few of these. How's your stack doing?
I have a stack of vinyl, and then I have 2 stacks of like prog stuff. So I won't be long winded on that because I know most people aren't going to care. But
okay,
you'll like some of it.
Not much to say about this, but
oh, dude, so
I finally have a real copy of it.
I don't own it actually. It's a fantastic album.
Yeah.
Both
classic, obviously, and it was a shame that I went this long. I had for years I had that Roadrunner reissue, which was supposed to be both albums put on one disc, but they cut a bunch of songs off.
Did they really? What?
Yeah.
See, I remember that coming out. I didn't know they cut songs off.
At least I want to say like 3 songs were missing or something.
Okay. So
this reissue is unlistenable. It has their original demo on it.
Oh shit!
Which is one unreleased song called "The Subhuman," which is like a 10-minute kind of doom epic, which is kind of strange against all their other material. But
so you're seeing maybe shades of Typo Negative in that song, or
for sure.
Yeah, those 2 Carnivore albums, some of the best metal albums ever.
Yeah,
hands down. They're just. Which one do you like more? Which of the 2? I go back and forth.
I think the debut I like a little bit more, but
see, I think I'm more Retaliation if I had to choose, but it's so hard.
Yeah, it's splitting hairs.
Yeah, it is. And I love Typo Negative, so.
Just got this.
Strigoi. Yeah.
Bathing in a Black Sun. It's a limited EP. Season of Mist. So what this is, the entire thing lasts about 12 minutes, and 4 of it is a song from the album. So
okay, so you get 8 minutes of new music.
It's apparently there was a 7-inch single that came out at some point, and the 2 songs from that are on here.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
There's a Decibel flexi disc song that's on here, and then a new song that's like a 40-second kind of crusty grind song.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
So essential, no, but I really like this project, and
me too.
If you want to have more than you don't have,
yeah, if you're like a big fan of like you are of Paradise Lost, I think you have to have that stuff. You know, it's cool hearing Gregor playing brutal stuff again. You know.
Yeah, and I always like those kind of EP releases that just are like catch-alls of the track they put out here and here and here, and then it's all in one thing.
Yeah, I only have the first Strigoi album. I really want that second one. I don't know why I haven't got it yet, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, and Valenfire before that, I really like too. I might like Valenfire a little bit more, but yeah, good stuff.
I have the Valenfire stuff too. Yeah, it's kind of a continuation of that, but a little different.
Yeah, a little more. I think a little more crusty.
Yeah,
kind of in that vein.
Yeah.
Well, this is not metal. Well, sort of. You ever heard of this?
I don't think so.
Revolver, the Unholy Mother of Fuck.
No, I definitely have. I'd remember that.
It's a Music for Nations deal. Came out in 2001. I have heard the name of this band, Such a Surge. Have you heard of them?
Mm-mm.
I guess they're like some kind of alt metal, rat metal, maybe. They're from Germany.
No, I definitely have heard that.
So this is a side project from some of those guys.
Okay.
And it is it basically sounds like a Lost Entombed album. It's very rocky. Definitely has that late 90s studio or Sunlight Studio sound, with like the overdriven and the feedback on the amps, and yeah, it really sounds like kind of the To Ride, Shoot Straight Entombed era.
I mean, at the time, I liked that era of Entombed. I'd have to revisit it. Yeah.
And the singer in this went on. He was the singer in Carnal Forge or something, I think, for a while.
Forge, yeah.
But yeah, just kind of a fun, heavy rock album. Again, this is a VC recommendation. Jason at Black Leather Eyes had shown this, and
that's cool.
Checked it out.
I'd listen to that for sure.
Yep, good stuff. And if you could find it cheap, I kind of had to wait for a price I wanted to pay on it. But
yeah,
if you live in Europe, you can get it. Apparently, they're lined in the streets with them. They're friggin'
sold a lot of copies.
You got to wait for one to come over here.
Oh yeah, yeah. I noticed they just repressed Uprising from Entombed. I used to really like that album, and I thought about rebuying it. I don't know, but I haven't listened to it in so long. I'm like, do I still like Uprising? I liked it a lot back then.
I haven't listened to it in forever.
I haven't either. I don't even hardly remember what it sounds like. You know what Entombed album I like that I nobody talks about is Morning Star.
I love Morning Star. Holy shit.
It's like thrash metal. Like it doesn't sound like any of the other Entombed stuff. I don't know. I think it's great. I know Kevin from Graveworm likes it.
Yeah, it's really kind of one I go back to more than more than any of them right now.
Yeah, because it holds up, and you haven't heard it, overly too many times.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're getting into the prog stuff. So prog rock, prog metal. Only some of you will be into this. I think Nate, if you're still here, you like some of this stuff. But I won't sit here and blab on about it. I got like this one. What am I going to say about this? Nothing. Kansas Live at the Whiskey. It's like a notoriously bad Kansas Live album. I don't think it's that bad. It's from '92. The band was falling apart. Steve Walsh had a serious cocaine addiction. I would recommend just to blow your mind, be like, what the fuck? Look up Kansas Live from this era, from like '92 to '96, and Steve Walsh literally looks like that dude you've seen walking down one of your streets talking to himself. Like, he looks so fucking bad. Like, it's almost mind blowing how they kept him in line long enough to. But yeah, I think he was probably part of the band falling apart. But because he's so talented, they weren't going to kick him out, is my guess. But and another notoriously bad album. This is known as Yes's worst album, and they have some pretty weak albums. But Open Your Eyes. I spot it because I'm a Yes completist. This is from '97. Don't know too much about it, but I've never heard it. This is one of the like 2 or 3 albums of theirs I haven't heard, but it's almost every fan will say that's their worst album. So
yeah, I would. That one's just kind of wallpaper for me. I don't really think it's actively bad, but I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, I guess I bought it almost just because I'm curious. Well, I'm a completist, but I'm also like, what's so bad about it? I don't know. Yeah. And so then while I was at that, I bought, because I didn't want to buy it when it came out for some reason, and now I decided I had to have it. The Quest. I think it's a pretty decent album, actually. I actually like it. This is another album though where people are like, "Oh, it's so awful." The Ice Bridge is a really cool song. I don't know. I enjoy this album. Is it good? Is it mind blowing? Maybe not, but I also don't think it's terrible by any means.
Is that the newest one?
This is the one before that. The newest one I think is actually really good.
Okay.
Alan White. I don't want to say anything bad about him. He passed not too long after this, but his drumming is so bad on this album. I mean, he was like an 80-year-old man. Like, what do you like? Come on. And he sounds like it. He was, one of the great drummers of the '70s, and I actually really respect them. They had to have known, like, all right, he can't really play anymore. But they didn't boot him out of the band like some bands would do. They let him play on the album, and his performance is awful. But I think it's cool that they kept him around. Newest Peter Gabriel album, really like it. I'd waited for new music from him for like 20 years or something. Like, he doesn't put out music all that often. Yeah, it's a little long, but it's really, really good. I like every single song. Probably The Court, maybe my favorite. so yeah, you get two different versions of the album. They're both different mixes, and they almost sound like different songs, which is kind of cool. Like the mixes are so varying that yeah, it's not like, oh, I can't even what's the point of this? But I don't know which one I would say I like more. They're just good songs. Band called Birth. They're like a kind of a modern prog rock band, I guess you'd call it. Came out on Bad Omen Records in 2022. Just really good. Like for the longest time, I wasn't really interested in newer prog bands, but I've obviously fixed that because there's a lot of good shit. Yeah, really, really good modern prog stuff. Back to Kansas. A really good later Kansas album that was just out of circulation for a long time because it came out on Magna Carta. So that label's been dead and buried for quite a while. Came out in 2000 originally, Somewhere to Elsewhere. Honestly, I don't think Kansas have ever had a bad album, like a really bad album. But this is maybe one of the better albums from the last 20 plus years. And I still haven't listened to this yet, but I will soon because I'm really curious to hear the Marillion album you sent me, Somewhere Else. Mm-hmm. Marillion from 2007. I'm really loving. I'm slowly getting into Marillion, but I'm loving the journey. So you said this is their worst album, but I'll probably like it.
I like it too. But yeah, just so you know, the stream I did with Jeff and John, it was unanimously our last on all of our lists. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so it's not just you that thinks that. Yeah. For me though, it'll be different because like I'm listening to their albums just all over the place.
That actually might help it coming into it.
I think so.
Kind of cold, because it was the album after Marbles, which everyone thinks is maybe their best.
Wow.
So yeah, and I think we all picked Marbles number 1 as well. So they went from number 1 to number 15.
Yeah. Another album I really want to get from theirs, or of theirs, is the first album that Hogarth is on. I'd really want to hear that. The one where he replaced Fish.
Season's End, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I really need to hear that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Oh, getting some metal here. White Death, Iconoclast.
That's a brutal cover.
Isn't that cool? I love that cover.
I mean, as much as it shouldn't be cool, it looks awesome.
Well, they're vermin. It's okay. So this is Finish on Werewolf Records. Came out the very end of the year. I'm trying to remember Ritron. You may have seen his name around.
Yeah. Yep. He's done some stuff. He's a Finnish guy, right? Well, I guess they're all Finnish guys.
Yeah. He's done some stuff with Werewolf. They had a solo project that did a full length and I think an EP, maybe a couple demos. So yeah, the debut came out, I think 2017. So it took quite a long time for this to come out. And the press was kind of interesting on it. They were saying, everybody really liked our last album, so now we're going to take all these sweet riffs and just drench it in mud and filth, so nobody will even be able to hear it. And it is a little dirtier, but it's not like they made it out to be. I don't think it's immediate.
Horna will do that. Horna will do that too. They'll be like, "All right, you like that last polished album? Yep. Here's one that's just rough." Yeah.
So it's kind of a punky black metal, I guess I would say. I don't think it's as good as the first album, but definitely worth checking out. It is on Werewolf Records, so if that makes you scared, then
yeah, there's always that. Yeah, like I said, that album cover is actually, like, in its own way, it's like really cool. I feel I don't know how to describe it. It's awesome.
Maddox Deep Shadows turned me on to this Wolf Tower. Also Finnish, I believe. This project, I think it's a one-man deal, if I remember correctly, and he's got about 70 EPs and splits and demos.
Oh shit.
So this is one. This is I'm exaggerating. Maybe it's 10, but it's not a very old project, and he just keeps pumping them out. So this is one of his EPs, Funeral Swords.
It looks cool.
Very, very dungeon synth influenced black metal. He also does a dungeon synth project.
I love stuff like that. I would totally listen to that.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah.
I've only heard this one out of the dozen or so things he's put out, but so far I like it.
Cool.
This one is a little scary. So Moon Citadel, I don't know if you heard of them. Another
I have.
Band. This is the debut EP, Moon Calls to Winter. Man, my eyes are going. Moon Calls to Wander, The Winter's Majesty. So it's a 2-track EP, and then it has the demo from 2016 on here as well.
Oh, cool.
Stormheight is the guy. So, if that's important to you to know, then you know it now.
Yeah.
It's very symphonic black metal, a lot of kind of traditional folky melodies, as you might expect from him.
Oh, shit.
I'm not that blown away by this. I did pick up the full length as well. I haven't gotten to it yet. I've heard that's way better. But,
okay.
On Werewolf as well. Or no.
Yeah.
No, there's
like black metal. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff, so I'd listen to that.
Yeah, it's decent. And was that 3? Yeah. All right. I'll take a break for a sec.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm still in the prog stuff. Whoa, crashing. Great Peter Gabriel live album. I always forget what it's called. Secret World Live. It's kind of famous for it, I guess you could say. Just a great live album. 2 discs. And the Genesis live albums that nobody really likes, but I actually think they're good for what they are. And if you watch them on this tour, I mean, they still were a good band. People might not like all, the 90s era Genesis. Most people don't, but anyway, I have a kind of a soft spot for it. So I've always wanted these, the Way We Walk. It's 2 albums, Volume 1 and Volume 2. So in Volume 1, they play like the poppy hits, and then Volume 2, they never really, I don't know, they play more like medleys and stuff of the old stuff, and some longer songs, but it's I think it's good, actually. I don't know. It's probably not mandatory for most people. And a band that I didn't get into until recently, probably because I just grew up hearing their radio hits and thought they were terrible, but Chicago. So the first Chicago album is actually awesome. When they were called the Chicago Transit Authority. This came out in like 69 or something, and it's like they're like a prog band basically. It's like, sounds like prog to me. I actually read an interview with one of the guys, and he was like, "Yeah, we wanted to be like like Yes and Genesis, back then." And I was like, "Okay, I'm sold." And it's really good.
I don't remember the name of it, but there's a really cool documentary about Chicago that kind of takes you through what happened.
Yeah. Oh God, what happened? What's funny about that band is like they never had an album name. There's like they just put numbers. There's like Chicago 23. It's crazy. I got to give them credit for sticking with that, because I don't think anyone's done that. You got like bands that did maybe 4. Like 23. Like, Jesus.
Right.
And we got some Moody Blues albums, another band I never cared about, but they're actually pretty cool. If you're traversing the prog landscapes, you gotta at least check out some Moody Blues. It's kind of like prog before prog, really. They're one of those bands where people like, yes, they're prog, no, they're not prog, whatever. Doesn't matter. It's just music. But to our children's children from 69. I mean, I don't really like a lot of 60s stuff, because like even late 60s, some of those 60s bands, they have that like I don't know, there's like 60s elements to music that I'm not going to say it's bad or anything, but it's just not for me. It's a little too light and fluffy, and they do have some of that, but the songs are awesome. Or this one's even older, 67, Days of Future Past. I don't like this one as much. Still pretty good though. Another band that kind of crosses the line of prog or metal, or what do you want to call them? Last Crack. A band that
nice.
Yeah, I knew about this band. They're like from Wisconsin or something. So you might have known about them a little more since they're kind of from your region, you know.
Yeah,
they kind of had
not
their
too long ago. Well, I'd say not too long ago. That's what getting old is. It was probably 10 years ago. We were doing some kind of reunion show in Madison, which is about, I don't know, 4.5 hours away from me. I didn't know that.
Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, this is one of those bands where I heard the name and it's like, that doesn't sound interesting, but it's really cool music. This came out on Road Racer '91, so maybe not the best label for them, but I don't know, Road Racer had some off kilter stuff. Yeah, it's just like a band that combined. They don't sound like anybody at all. They combine metal and I guess maybe progressive elements, but kind of they're just unique sounding. I don't know what you'd compare them to at all. King's X, maybe.
Yeah, they're definitely in that category of bands that were not appreciated until years after they.
Yeah, years. They're probably one of those bands that the label signed them because they thought they were awesome, and then the fans didn't care. The general public. Another Tea Party album. I think I told you about this because I bought this a while ago. It's pretty awesome, especially the first song. First song on here is so good. I feel like some of the other songs aren't as good, but it's such a strong opener. 2014, and I got a couple King's X albums since we're talking about King's X. So happy to have this. I've only recently got into them. Out of the Silent Planet, their debut, so good.
Awesome.
89, I think 88, Atlantic Records. Yeah, for me, this is. I don't know if I could say it's their best album, but it's the one that appeals to me the most. It's the most progressive, probably, and it's also kind of heavy. And I would imagine most diehard King's X fans would say that's not their best album, and they'd probably have a lot of reasons to to say that. But I for me at this point, I think it's my favorite. And then I got this doesn't seem to be a favorite among fans, but I actually really enjoyed it. Ear Candy. And amazing cover.
Yeah,
I love that cover. But yeah, I mean, my buddy, my buddy that's King's X, like one of his favorite, bands. He's like, oh, you're probably not gonna like that one. It's not one of my favorites. I actually really liked it. 1996.
Yeah. It's their pop album for sure. And
yeah,
right before they got dropped. So I'm wondering if this was like an attempt to kind of hit on something, but whatever the motivation was, I think it's a good album.
Might have been. Yeah, that might be it. And then I bought this one just because I already have it. And I was like, I'm going to send this to somebody because I could just leave it sitting at a thrift store, Dogman. I don't remember because I think we talked about this. They did different colors of the cover. They did like yellow and red and stuff. Is it supposed to have a yellow CD? Do you know?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because I'm wondering if that got mixed up or something. I can
reach right here and grab my copy and see what mine is.
And I already have this
too. I got the yellow cover.
Yeah, maybe they're all yellow CDs.
My CD is yellow, so maybe the CDs are all yellow.
Yeah, they might be, which is kind of strange. Maybe they didn't want to. No, I guess it makes sense. Printing them, they didn't want to. Oh, can you print us all these different colors? Right. So yeah, already had this, but I just couldn't leave it sitting there. I bought it for $1, and I'm just waiting for someone to be like, "Yeah, send that to me. It's yours." I'll even pay for the shipping if you. I just wasn't gonna leave it there. So yeah, I'm getting there. I got another 2 stacks like that I'll go through quickly. But what do you got left?
All right. Let's see. Just pick these up. The Cure Disintegration Deluxe Edition 3-disc.
That album has been on my list of things to get. Also,
I've had the regular version for a while, but I've been going back, listening to all the Cure albums and got me all fired up. It's like, I don't have the deluxe edition of Disintegration, so I better get it. I found a good deal on it. So
as a so far non-Cure fan, I find that album awesome. Like I'm a Cure fan in the waiting, I think. I just haven't got there yet.
And I got Mixed Up, their remix album. This is another 3-disc version. I got it super cheap. I'm not a huge remix dude, but there's a couple new songs on here, and I thought, I'm collector scum, so I'll get them all.
Yeah.
Going back through, I don't know if I'd ever listened to everything in order, so it was really interesting to go from Pornography, which is the most gloomy, nihilistic album ever.
Yeah.
And then the next thing they did was Let's Go to Bed.
Poppy, yeah.
And so just reading through some of Robert Smith's comments, he was like, "Yeah, I didn't want the band to exist anymore, so I was trying to kill it." That was I put out this fucking stupid pop song, and everyone would turn on us, and then it went the other way. He said we went from our little goth crowds to playing for teenage girls with perfect teeth in America.
You know what album I really like of theirs? I think it's called Wish. It's the gray cover. That album's awesome. That's actually the only one I own so far. I love it. Very gloomy. Very, very. It's just perfect for that kind of stuff. Gloomy, atmospheric, and just depressed.
Yeah.
So good.
Got this weird one, Joe Hasselvander.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, Joe Hasselvander's awesome.
So this is a comp of 2 releases, Roadkill and Lady Killer. You want to check out this album cover for Lady Killer? Let's go.
Woo! Yeah, I'd buy that. I'd totally buy that.
That guy's a lady killer for sure, man. Look at him. He's drowning in it.
He is not a lady killer. If you ever see him in person, yeah, he looks like a caveman.
So this, if you don't know, Joe Hasselvander was in that Washington D.C. doom scene and worked with Pentagram quite a bit.
I saw him live playing drums for Raven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was in Raven for like 10 years too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's great.
So the kind of the story on this, the Lady Killer release was supposed to be one of those fake bands that were, going around in the mid 80s where they'd hire somebody to make an album in 2 days and then put,
Oh yeah.
So this was supposed to be they're supposed to get a girl in to sing the vocals, and the photo was going to be like it was a girl band. But then she never showed up. So the engineer's like, well, we got half a day left. Somebody's got to sing this shit. And he'd never sung before, so he did it. He does a decent job.
Yeah, he can sing okay.
This is, and then the other one, the Roadkill is, I think it's some collections of demos he did. And then some of them are with Victor Griffin that they did after some kind of Pentagram session.
Oh, shit.
So this isn't really doomy for the most part. It's more just kind of hard rock, pub rock. But I picked it up super cheap, and it's definitely worth listening to if you're kind of into that style.
He's got some cool stuff. He's like, have you ever heard the Hounds of Hasselvander?
I haven't heard that. No,
it's not bad. It's not bad. And
I guess I'll do this one. Not metal at all, but Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid soundtrack by Bob Dylan.
Oh, cool.
Just kind of in the vein of people say this sucks and it's a horrible album. I just found it super cheap and I didn't have it, and it's got Knocking on Heaven's Door on it. Like, I'll just pick it up. Yeah, it's really good. It's
cool.
A lot of instrumental, kind of Old West themed soundtrack music, and then obviously Knocking on Heaven's Door, which is only like a 2.5 minute song.
Yeah,
I'd never heard his version. I've only heard like the epics from Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, which I love.
Yeah, but yeah, I thought this was quite an enjoyable album. So I don't know why everybody hated it, but
I mean, it's a soundtrack. You can't really judge it. You got to judge it on you can't really judge a soundtrack. Like it's.
I guess when Bob Dylan's name is on it, they judge it as if it's supposed to be Blonde on Blonde or something. I don't know, but
I'm always interested to hear what people can do. Like when a musician does a soundtrack, I always want to hear it, like hear their more of their diversity, kind of what they can bring to the table.
Yeah, did you ever hear the one that Michael Lagerfeld did, or it was some Netflix show he did?
No, that sounds awesome though.
Yeah, I've never heard it either. I need to check it out.
Hell yeah! Recently or
within the last couple of years, I think. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'd definitely like to hear that. I love Michael Lagerfeld.
I can keep going if you want, or you want to go?
Let's see. I'll breeze through a couple things here. Like I said, it's going to be all prog from here out, but yeah, Porcupine Tree, Fear of a Blank Planet, like I showed you the other day. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm really excited to hear it.
Oh yeah, it's a great one.
2007. Yeah, stoked to hear that. And I told you about this months ago when I bought this, and was really excited to see this OSI debut album.
Oh yeah, nice.
Which is funny because it's a digibook, yeah. So it's got probably some bonus stuff or something. I always like these digibooks. No, it's just one disc. It's funny. I always knew this band from their other 2 or whatever albums, and I didn't hear this for the longest time. So it doesn't really sound too much. Their other albums are more like kind of like electronic-y, and I think they're really cool for what they are. But it was nice to hear just a straight prog metal album.
Yeah, that's the best one for sure.
Yeah, I could see why now a lot of the fans didn't really care for those other albums, but I like them. But this is definitely more my cup of tea. Got this for like $2 or $3. Haken Affinity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Excited to see that. When I saw it, I was like, yes. It's only missing the booklet, and I'm okay with that. Still has both discs intact and everything. So I guess that's why it was cheaper. Debut, I never had this, never really wanted it, but I discovered, I guess you could say, and appreciated it. The debut Dream Theater album. I actually really like this nowadays. This is the original pressing from Mechanic Records or whatever, but not that it matters. But I think it's a really cool album from a band that my interest comes and goes every 10 years or so, and I mean, honestly, I think it's a really cool album. God, why did I don't know why I don't remember why, but I must have found this at a thrift store or something. Queensryche, Here in the Now, or Here in the Now. I think it's because I've never heard it.
No,
yeah, I think that's why I bought it, because I've never even heard it, and I love Queensryche, so I'm like, I guess I'll buy this for 50 cents or whatever. I like Promised Land. I actually like quite a bit. Not one of my favorites, but I like it. And this came after that, so I guess I was assuming, maybe it's kind of like Promised Land. I've heard it's kind of not.
Dude, I love Promised Land, and that album.
Yeah, Promised Land was one that I actually didn't get into until way later. I'm like, okay, this is actually Promised Land is pretty awesome, actually. Been working on getting all the Evergrey albums because I kind of stopped listening to them for a while. So their newest album, Heartless Portrait, I think this is their most recent. I did listen to it. It's actually pretty good. I know they had a period of albums that I didn't like at all. So they're kind of back to their earlier sound, not completely though. It's still very polished and straightforward, and they have some of the proggy elements that they had early on, but not as much. But they're still good songs. Symphony X V or 5 or whatever. It's just Symphony X. Their sound doesn't vary too much to me. I think a lot of their albums kind of sound the same-ish, but it's good. If you like Symphony X, it's awesome. 2000. And a band that I've also always heard really cool things about. I've never heard anything that they've done. Osric Tentacles. I guess they're like they kind of sit in the prog territory with a lot of people, but I guess their music's all over the place, like electronic. Some of it's new age, folky. I don't know. It's all over the place. IRS Records, the label of Black Sabbath for a couple of years. Yeah. Well, that's enough for now.
IRS, where careers went to die.
Yeah, seriously, right? Oh God.
Well, I got a new release here, Lucera with Satan Ass.
I like that cover. That's cool. I haven't heard it.
And the slipcover actually is different than the album cover. Imagine that.
Wow.
Somebody thought to do that.
Yeah, see, we can learn from these guys.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. This is it's a band. They were from Columbia. I don't know if they still are. I know one of the guys I know is not. He's in Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, really? Like
Columbia and Ohio.
On a recent, maybe my last video, but this dude, Ophiuchus, is in Lucera, and he's
pretty sure I've heard that band, or at least in some manner.
So it's a lot of kind of sleazy first wave black metal.
Oh, cool.
I mean, they were. That's kind of what I was expecting. This is a lot more doomy, and I don't know. I'm not feeling this yet. It's
Okay.
quite different from what they've done before. Um, Lyrically, it's not. We've got songs like, Satan Ass, obviously, Anal Satanic Horror, To All Prostitutes and the Virgin Mary. That kind of deal.
Love the cover arts though.
Yeah, it's cool, but here's one of their previous albums, Pure Ass.
That's awesome.
So I don't know. I'm still kind of warming up to this. We'll see if it turns the corner for me, but kind of not what I was expecting and not what I really wanted yet.
You gotta love the metal covers where it's like, yeah, being metal gets you laid. Like, and we all know that's not true. We all know that's not true. Like, but it's a cool fantasy to have, though. I mean, clearly that guy does, but yeah, he's one of the few.
Right.
And that's probably his wife too. Like,
right. Or,
like, it's probably supposed to be some random chick, and it's probably like his wife of 25 years. But
or some stripper he paid $50 to take the picture.
yeah. It's a cool fantasy, regardless.
I did bite the bullet then and buy the Agalloch Pill Folklore reissue. Whoa, there's nothing on it I don't have. There's the bonus disc is all like demo stuff that I already had.
That's cool looking though.
But it is. I saw Jimmy from Future Ruins showing it, and then I was full of envy and wanted it. So
that is a great album too. So
a really nice book. It's about, I don't know, 8-inch square book. But new liner notes and comments from people, and
very cool.
Second disc has the demos, and I'm trying to find where it's listed here. Sorry.
Well, that's cool. It's got demo stuff on there. I've heard their demo stuff. I don't have it by any means.
Yeah, the disc 2 was released before as the Demonstration Archive 96 to 98. So it's got the From Which of This Oak demo of Stone, Wind, and Pillar 7-inch.
Dude, that is a great EP. That Stone, Wind, and Pillar. Great.
Yeah,
great.
And that was super rare for a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's some of my favorite Agalloch stuff on there. It's awesome.
So yeah, this is a really neat set. So now I'm probably gonna freaking buy them all.
Are they gonna re-release all their stuff like that?
I think they're doing the Mantle next. So I think they're planning to.
I'm guessing it's too late for me to get that Pale Folklore. Those got to be gone. I guarantee you.
I just got it recently. It was sold out, but I think they pressed more. Okay. So it might still be available.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to have that. Damn. And actually, I will say this: I've never owned Pale Folklore, so I really like it. So I don't own anything on that set. So yeah, that's perfect for me.
Yeah, good way to get it.
Yeah, shit. Okay, cool. That's on my list of my short list because you can't wait for things like that for too long.
Right.
Yeah, unless you don't want it. No, go ahead. What do you got?
Oh, I picked up this Twisted Tower Dire comp.
Oh shit.
Super cheap.
I never see anyone talk about that band.
I heard the name, I think I was at a show that they opened, but I never saw them because the line was so freaking long to get in.
Oh shit, they're awesome.
Yeah, it's freaking great. Now this comp, it was super cheap, and it's I think 4 songs from the second album, 3 songs from the first album, and then there's like a 12-minute Iron Maiden covers compilation or medley, I should say.
That's awesome. What label is that on? Some unknown.
Unisound Records from Greece, but this is
okay.
Didn't they go under like a long time ago? This might be a boot.
I think
probably is a boot because I got it for $5.
That's okay. That's all right. I'd buy it too.
I'll definitely be looking for the full versions of the albums because I don't think I've ever listened to this band before, and
they're awesome.
Awesome epic power metal.
Yeah, what's cool about them? I always put them in that category of bands that like they were just coming out when heavy metal when it was at its lowest point, and they didn't give a shit. Same with like Hammerfall and like mid 90s, no one cared, and they're like, hey, we're gonna put out this style of music that only 10 people still like, you know. So you gotta respect bands like that, you know. they didn't come out right when like, oh shit, this new thing is popular.
Yeah.
Total opposite.
And are they still going? Because I know Tony's passed away, but
they had an album out like a couple years ago.
Did they? Okay.
Yeah. So they're one of those bands where they're not full time. They just pop back up when they want to, I think. Kind of like God, what's that other band from the Midwest? They'll like put out an album every 15 years. Cauldron Born. You ever heard Cauldron Born?
I've ever heard the name.
They're awesome, but yeah, they'll put out now. They have like 3 albums. They've been around for 30 years or something. They're similar sound, I would say, but they're really good.
Well, they're beating Sadistic Intent at least. So
who isn't? I think I'm beating Sadistic Intent for full-length albums. I always used to love what's his name? Remember Reaper would always talk about how lazy that band is.
Yeah,
he's not wrong. He's like they're pretty good guys, but goddamn are they lazy. Like,
yeah, what do they have? Like they've had 10 songs in like 35 years.
You know what I think it might be though? I kind of don't blame them because I think they're under a lot of pressure where they're like, we have so much to live up to. Like I think they're aware of their cult status, and I think they're aware of how hard people are on bands like that.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, we'll put out an album. Everyone will be excited. Most people will talk about how bad it is, and how it didn't live up to their expectations. Not worth the wait, And they're right. That would happen.
Yeah.
Oh, this fucking sucks. I waited 30 years for this piece of shit. Yeah. I kind of, but they've also said that like, all right, it's coming, so they've like led people on a lot. I don't know. I doubt any of it's intentional. I'm sure it's all shit happens type thing, but I don't know. I would love to hear an album from them, whether it's awesome or not.
Yeah, I would definitely check it out.
I'd totally blind buy it, Yeah, I think it'd probably at least be pretty good. Maybe not amazing. I don't know. Okay, so random blind buy. This band is called, I don't know. They're from Norway, Akervist or something. Didn't blow me away. This is prog rock with some metal elements. Didn't blow me away. I don't really like the vocals. Sometimes it's very kind of pastoral and airy sounding, but then when they go into like a nice instrumental kind of prog out type thing, they're pretty good at it. I don't know, might need more listens, but a lot of the prog people were talking about it, but you could tell. I think they're Opeth fans. You can totally tell it's kind of got like some Opeth vibes, but not as heavy, but sort of at times heavy. I don't know. It's just, I like some of it and some of it I didn't like. More Peter Gabriel stuff because I just worship the dude. This is all stuff from soundtracks that he's been on. A lot of them are like Disney movies and stuff. So they're kind of cheesy, but some of them are really good, and some of them they just sound like Disney songs. Mm-hmm. What else do I got? Halloween Kills soundtrack. Say what you want about the movie, John Carpenter's music is still awesome. And I actually like the movie, so, but I know I'm aware of people's opinions on it. Still awesome.
I can't sign off on that, brother.
That's okay. It's been on like a 25-year spree of picking up Tangerine Dream albums because they have like 1,000. Oh, yeah. I love Tangerine Dream, so I got Alpha Centauri, maybe one of their best albums. Stratosphere, also really good. I mean, you can't go wrong with any of their 70s stuff. I don't think I think I've only heard their 70s stuff, but even just in that decade, they probably had 25 albums. Or I don't know, this Alpha Centauri might be 80s. I don't know. It's really good either way. Let's see. Okay, cool. I'm getting to the end. I'll run through this vinyl stuff real quick. All prog. I got Yesterday's. This is an early Yes compilation. Really, really early, like 74. It's the first compilation they ever did. This is in surprisingly good condition, other than the fact that it's a promo, so it's got the saw cut in it. But Drama. This album is actually awesome, and it's from like 80. Yeah, 1980. So they had total lineup changes and stuff, but it's awesome.
One thing about that album that is cool as a Dream Theater fan, when Dream Theater opened for Yes, I think it was the 35th anniversary tour.
Oh yeah.
Yes, and they played a couple drama songs. Dream Theater did.
Wow.
Knowing that Yes wouldn't play them, but kind of wanting
of course.
show pay some tribute to the band, and I guess Steve Howe was really impressed and excited that they did that. So
wow. So you saw Yes and Dream Theater together?
I did not. I have a bootleg of it, but
okay.
So their set list, they played for about an hour, and it was the same set every night, and they included it was Machine Messiah and one other one, I think.
Machine Messiah is like one of the most un-Yes sounding songs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like Yes, but it's like super heavy. Like it's kind of crazy. It's like Black Sabbath meets Yes, kind of like it's Tony Iommi playing for Yes. Like it's a cool song, and the rest of the album doesn't sound like that, but it's still a really good album. Like it's just good. It's awesome. I don't know if anyone at all is aware of who Tomita is, but he's awesome. He's a Japanese guy. Did some albums in the 70s. Like he did some stuff for the what was that show? The Cosmos. Remember that Cosmos show?
Oh, okay.
He did some soundtrack stuff there, but yeah, he was just like a composer, like an electronic ambient artist, and he's fucking awesome. So I don't see his like vinyl stuff turn out very much, but yeah, when I grab it when I can. Got a bunch of this You ever listen to Renaissance?
No.
You've probably heard the name.
I've heard the name, yeah.
Yeah, they're like a folky prog band from England from back, early 70s. I don't like all their stuff, but some of it's really, really good. Like Prologue. I actually haven't heard this one yet. I mean, obviously, it's a prog album. Album cover that makes no sense with weird shapes and stuff. Yeah. Maybe their best album right here, though, Scheherazade and Other Stories. This album is awesome. This is maybe their more proggy stuff. Because sometimes they're like really folky, and I'm not a big fan of like the folky side of prog. I think it's really boring usually. But yeah, when they dip into more prog territory, they're really good. Bought a Magnum album.
Oh, okay, cool.
Never had a Magnum album. I have heard their stuff though. This might be their debut. 78. So it's early for Magnum. Might be their debut. But anyways, yeah, Magnum are awesome, I think. They're like sometimes prog, sometimes AOR, hard rock, I know a lot of British people love them. I don't know about it in the US. I think they have a following here, but like in England, they're much bigger. Makes sense, I guess. They're a British band, but it's so weird how some bands don't traverse oceans as well as others. Like some bands are so huge in England, but they're an American band, or the other way around. It's so weird. I don't know how record label stuff works. This is kind of like a second or third tier prog band from Germany, but they're still pretty good. Triumvirate. Okay. It's good. I think I can't remember if this is their debut. Really, really good singer. I actually thought the singer was, I'd always heard of this band. Singer is better than I expected. So some of the song, it's kind of that prog where it's not overly complex. A lot of some of it you maybe could hear on the radio although I'm sure it didn't get radio play at all. Radio potential, but I don't know. I liked it. Gentle Giant. I always try to pick their stuff up when I see it. One of the best prog bands of all time, hands down. British prog. I don't even know what I could say about this band. You ever listen to Gentle Giant?
No, I've picked up a couple here and there, but I've not dove in yet.
Okay, well, you're in for a ride, and they're definitely a weird band, but they're so fucking cool. So 76, this album came out in. Eric, what's up? I know you like this band. So, yeah, what's cool about them is that like they write songs that should be 25 minutes long, like a Yes would do or something, but they're 5 minutes. Like they're able to condense so much into one song. And they do this like crazy, I don't even know how you would say it. The singer, he's such a, like the first time you heard John Arch, and you're like, what the fuck? This is so weird, but good. Like that's kind of he doesn't sound like John Arch, but like you get the same thing where it's like no one's done this before, I'll just say you'll know right when you hear it. It might put you off, maybe you'll like it, but it's this vocal style that just no one has ever done. It's crazy. And then maybe their best album, Octopus, really cool vinyl where it's like a notch cuts and stuff. An octopus in a jar. It's badass. Yeah. This is from '73. This maybe they're any Gentle Giant fan. This is going to be in their top 2 or 3 probably. Probably my favorite, but yeah, it's awesome. That's all I got. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, do I have anything I need to show? Really? No, not really.
Roger just says only Eric in chat knows this shit. Yeah, that was basically all for Eric. Eric and Scott, sort of.
I showed this on a video, but the demo comp.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I need to get that. I forgot. Well, I guess I already have it, don't I? I already have a demo comp.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because you have I was jealous because you have the original.
But that looks so cool, though.
It is cool in the book. Super long interview with with Storm. That's really fun.
I might have to buy that just for the booklet.
I mean, yeah, you might need it.
Masters Hammer is a band that you just have to buy everything they put out because they're like one of the most amazing bands ever.
I think I'm missing. Well, I'm definitely missing Slaggery.
Yeah,
and I think there's one other one that I made a huge order from them, and got everything except they were out of one album that I still don't have, but I'll get it.
You have all those Reformation albums?
Yeah, all but one.
Damn. I didn't end up getting any of those, and I actually like all of them. They're all really good. Some better than others, but I don't know. I dig it. I dig what they've done.
Yeah, they're all at the very least interesting.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, what you would expect from Masters Hammer,
Yeah.
You want them to like put something out that you don't know what to expect.
It's fun too, reading the history that like they were just a bunch of weird art students that like they weren't like involved in any scene or anything. There's like, this will be fun. Let's invite people over and make a bunch of noise and hold it and
making like this, I guess what you'd call black metal now, and with like 1986, 87,
Yeah, I think 87 was the first demo.
Yeah, and they probably, I'm assuming they probably had no contact with your Tom Warrior or anything like that, or not Kronos or fucking Bathory or anything.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. A lot of those original demo tapes they made like maybe 50 and just gave them to friends. Like super underground. Yeah. I got this from Season of Mist sale, Ghost Brigade.
Ghost Brigade, yeah.
It's called 2005 to
melodic, like melodic doom death, right? Kind of type stuff.
Yeah. A bit, I guess you would say post rock, post metal in parts.
Yeah.
I just it was up and it was super cheap, and I was like, I've heard the name, but I never listened to them, so I just sampled some online. I was like, yeah, this sounds like really cool. Just sounds kind of some cool,
very atmospheric,
dark, atmospheric, emotional kind of metal-ish.
Like if you're in the right mood, I bet that would really hit you in the right way. I bet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they don't really sound like Catatonia, but I would put them, as far as a vibe goes, like in that more modern Catatonia style.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I would. Yeah, totally.
So have me get that.
They're probably super inspired by Catatonia, but they had their own sound, which is good. Roger says Slaggery is shit. Yeah, I've tried to listen to that album, Masters Hammer, but it's such a weird history too. It's like some people say that they intentionally made a terrible album, and some people say that they didn't, and I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to hear. I've read an interview where he kind of ducked around it.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was intentionally like I don't want to be in this band anymore. I just wanted to destroy it. So
that's the story. Yeah,
certainly seems like it.
No, yeah, but at the same time, I don't know why make such a weird album. I don't know. Who knows? They're European. They're already guys.
Simon, you should give me your copy.
I'd take it. I would totally buy it if I found it for cheap. I wouldn't pay a lot of money for it. I wouldn't pay much.
Roger had brought it up when he on his Master's Hammer video, and I had said, "Yeah, I don't. It sucks and I hate it, but if it was sitting right in front of me, I'd definitely buy it."
Yeah, $10 or less, I'd buy it. Yeah. Honestly, if it was an original copy, I'm an idiot. I'd probably pay like 20. I'd fork over 20 for it probably.
I'd probably get excited. Yeah. If it was right in front of me, I'd probably pay way too much.
Yeah, exactly. And then take it home and be like, why did I do that? You know, just to be like, yeah, I have it now.
Right.
And listen to it. Probably I'd give it one go through and then probably never again. Because I have heard bits and pieces of it. I'm like, man, there's nothing here that really interests me, you know.
Yeah, I've listened through, I think, one time. I might have tried again and it didn't make it.
It comes across as one of those albums where you're like, oh man, they're really going for something here. But it's so incoherent and like it's too arty, I guess, too artistic. No metal, right? Is there any metal on there? The vocal, I think the vocals kind of, if I remember.
I think there's like one song that's kind of metal.
Yeah. Bunch of weird instruments and
there's like a Chuck Berry cover that's not even recognizable as any song you've ever heard. I
didn't even know that.
Super bizarre.
What's bizarre wrong, though? I mean, you just said the one word that describes the band.
Yeah.
Bizarre. So I mean, yeah. Simon said he would send it to you, but then he'd have a gap in the collection.
But then he said he hates me enough that he might send it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we can do a straight up trade, Simon. You can send me that, and I can send you this.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Perfect. You both win.
Yeah.
Or lose. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think I would prefer Slaggery to this. So I think I would ultimately win that exchange.
Oh, I gotta hear that now. I gotta hear the album that's worse than Slaggery.
I linked some videos. The video it's in is the worst album I've ever heard. And I linked some of her videos, so
oh shit,
you can enjoy that.
Yeah, no, I have to hear that now. At least a song, maybe not a full album.
It's only 4 songs, but man,
endurance
what a journey.
Yeah, Roger says both lose. That's exactly the case. Nobody wins there. Oh, you got anything else?
No, I don't know how I could top that.
Yeah. You gotta end strong, you know.
That's right.
You saved the best for last. Well, you did show the Master's Hammer compilation. I remember I remember hearing that was coming out and I forgot about it.
Yeah, I'd forgotten too. Hell's Headbangers was doing a pre-order for it. It was a few months.
I'm sure they all sold out within a week, probably.
I don't know how limited it is, or if they have any more. I don't know.
Yeah, my guess is no, but maybe they were smarter this time and like, oh, let's make a bunch, you know, or let's make 5,000 or who knows. I guess Hell's put it out or
no? They just
got copies.
Yeah, they usually don't do pre-orders for stuff that's not theirs, but they did for this. It's on Darkness Shall Rise.
Okay,
which is that British?
I'm not sure. My guess is my guess is they maybe didn't print too many. Maybe I would bet you at most a couple thousand, probably at most.
Yeah, it doesn't say any kind of limitation, so I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's the best way to do it. Don't limit it, and then you just print however many you want.
I mean, I know it's super cult to you know, you get the 1 of 50 hand numbered tape, and I have it now, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
But like, who cares? Just put it out. People want it, put it out.
Yeah, maybe print a 500, then just do another 500 as they sell. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you less cult to do that. Oh, they repressed it. What the fuck? And they didn't tell us. They didn't ask us our permission. Oh boy. Oh, Darkness Shall Rise is a German label.
Oh, German.
Should be limited as usual, he says. So sounds like who knows? Could just be 500. I would imagine not less than 500 though, but maybe not more than 1,000.
You know what? I have it now, so I hope it is limited. Nobody else can get it.
I hope they only made 10.
I'm gonna buy all of them I can find and destroy them.
All right. Well, that wasn't too bad. 2.5 hours, and I felt like it didn't drag for too long. Maybe the end of when I'm showing prog stuff.
No, I think it was going good.
It was probably good that I had you here to show stuff to keep people interested in between.
I don't know, man. I pulled out some Bob Dylan. I had plenty of non crowd pleasers myself.
Yeah. I don't know. I never mind when people do that because I like to learn some stuff, you know, and I like to see people talk about stuff they like, even if it's not something I know about, or, you know, sometimes you hear people talk about shit and they're just super happy and stoked on it. And it's just cool to watch, you know, sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Simon is definitely keeping Slagery now. So you burn your bridges, Scott. There's no chance of you getting it from him ever again. Yeah, you're on your own. You're on your own. Well,
getting fired up. I'm going to make another video about him.
another diss track. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna go have some lunch here. It's 2:30. Yeah. All right. Well,
thanks for having me on, man. That was fun.
Yeah, dude. We'll do it again once I buy more. Maybe we'll just do this when I do my music stuff. It's more fun this way, I think. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's nice to have someone to talk to instead of just yourself.
Right.
And I know you said you're kind of not really feeling them either by yourself. So.
Yeah.
You feel like it's lazy.
I feel like it's a crutch I rely on too much. Then I don't have an idea that I prepared or anything. It's like, well, I can just show a bunch of shit I bought. And
yeah, like I said, I don't find them boring, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ever want to save some stuff, I'll save my stuff too.
Cool. Sounds good, man.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't keep up with the chat super well, but it looks like you guys were mostly talking amongst each other. So I apologize for. I'm always bad about that because I feel like if I'm trying to focus on the chat, then I'm interrupting you and stuff. So.
Yeah, I was trying to get in there too, and then I got my head down, and then you're trying to talk to me, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how people do it.
I know it literally is like an art form. If like you see someone who's like keeping up with everything as a whole, it's not easy to do.
Right.
So yeah, if I didn't reply to
everyone who joined us in the chat except for Simon.
Yeah, well, I can't say that. I don't have a beef with Simon, so no, I don't agree with you there.
Okay.
I'm still trying to keep Simon on my. I'm still trying to stay in his good graces. So
okay.
Yeah, so you're on your own with the Simon hate. I'll have to find my own arch nemesis.
Yeah, you should. It's fun.
I'll just pick somebody randomly, and I'll just make them my eternal enemy. Who's it gonna be? All right. Well, thanks for everyone joining, guys. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
See you
later.